Welcome to Natural 20 Proof, the show that exists because drinks are good, friends are better, and the dice gods own our souls.
Yay!
We are broadcasting live from the McMinnville Mead Hall up in McMinnville, Oregon, which is kind of in the North Willamette Valley area. If you are around here or within an hour or two's drive, definitely come check us out. We have one of the widest selections of fermented honey beverages anywhere on the West Coast, and honestly just about anywhere you could go. So if you are a mead enthusiast or want to find out what the drink of kings and gods is like, then come check us out and get an introduction. I also want to give a big shout out to Sirenscape. As always, we are using their beta online web player, which is a fantastic service. You can get on there, upload your own sound files, select from a huge list of different samples they've already got preset into the service. And you can construct your very own sound sets and moods to fit any particular gaming environment you might want to have. Whether that be a space adventure across the furthest reaches of the Asgalar galaxy, or
I'm a big fan of that galaxy.
That's a good one.
One of the best kept secrets in the vacation scene.
Quality galaxy right there.
Not anymore.
Or whether you want to delve into the bottom of Rillier and go fight Cthulhu. Either one, you can find a cool sound set to fit that vibe for you on Sirenscape, so make sure to check that out. Quick disclaimer on masks, as well as, unfortunately, the C word. We wear masks.
Now, when you say C, okay.
Yeah, okay, so
You forget who you share the table with.
The other C word, there's a whole variety of C words that will not be named, but we wear these things whenever we are not at the table. So our group here spends a ton of time together. We are kind of our own socially distanced pod, and so anytime we're not at the table actively with drinks in hand, we are wearing these though. So make sure that you're doing that. We want to avoid making this thing spread as much as possible, especially, unfortunately, with the current surge in cases that are taking place across the country. Speaking to that as well, unfortunately, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be having to take a break. Oregon has had a spike in cases, and we're doing a temporary lockdown to try and get a handle on that. So next weekend, as well as the following weekend, we will not have a regularly scheduled Honor game. However, we do have some stuff that we are rolling around as far as other content that we'll produce. Might do some kind of like online games or possibly some Jackbox or something, but we will keep you informed on our Discord server about that as it comes up, as well as on Facebook. So if you're not already following us there, make sure to log on, go ahead and get connected with us and get all the new updates on what we're doing throughout the weeks. And I think that, and make sure if you're watching on Twitch, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Not to mention the like button. It really means a lot and helps us to get this adventure out to more folks across the world. We are also on a whole variety of streaming services for podcasts. So we just recently got that going. I think we have the first, we have all the way up, all the session 0's out, as well as session 1. I think we've got a couple. 4. We're up to 4 now. Ooh. And we got to give a huge hand to Angus for doing all that. Yeah. Holy cow, brother. He's been working really hard and getting those cranked out. So if you've missed anything from any of our previous adventures, make sure to get on there. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on your favorite podcasting streaming service, and follow along with our adventure to figure out where we all of the mishaps that have gotten us this far.
Pick over gooseberries.
I think
Public service announcement.
Yeah, if you are currently going into lockdown, please don't buy all the toilet paper. Oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening again. I mean, seriously, we didn't run out last time. The only reason we ran out is because people kept hoarding it. So stop hoarding resources, folks. It's just a couple of weeks. We're gonna get through it. I promise you, a normal, rational amount of toilet paper will work for you.
Is this going to be a future campaign? We find a toilet paper dragon where that's their hoard?
Don't spoil it.
Wow. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah.
Scribbles it down.
Yeah, future campaign. That's today. Are you kidding me?
All I know is if they need to
Well, it is now today,
toilet
boy.
paper to get through a 2-week lockdown, they probably ought to see their doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
not
bad for
accurate.
those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's an industrial-sized amount. So yes, please be considerate. This is hard for everybody, and hoarding resources is not getting you anywhere, and is actively making everybody else's life harder. So don't do that. And without further ado, did I miss anything?
I think we're ready.
Oh my gosh, is today game 10?
It's today's
It is game 10. Wow.
This adventure.
So no pressure for a really good ending before the lockdown does. No pressure whatsoever.
Well, no pressure, Helry. You're only at like, what, 2 or 3 on your body count? So, so you're a little behind at this point.
I'm gonna rack some up today.
That was a good clapback.
All right,
That
so
was quick.
rolling on into our recap. Last time on our adventures in Anor, the party concluded their adventures at the Grizzlewald estate, having helped out Vincent Grizzlewald with his llama problem, wherein several of his livestock were beginning to disappear throughout the nights. You went out to the Grizzlewald estate, did some investigation, and found that it was a displacer beast that had been making its way into the llama pens and taking them away at night. You tracked it into the nearby woods, where you managed to lure it out using Penny as bait, and summarily destroyed it. However, it did lead you into a clearing where you were attacked by a large, shambling burial mound. That proved to be a rather hairy opponent. However, I know I can't even use that term.
I don't mind.
Proved to be a little bit of a hairy encounter. So you did manage to defeat it, though, in the process acquiring a hound-shaped helm, as well as a very dangerous-looking black iron greatsword, as well as some other bits and bobs that seemed useful. You also found a small orphaned displacer cub, which somebody made the terrible decision of casting Speak with Animals on.
You don't want to go down that road.
Oh boy, that was a fun one. I mean, I'm the DM, I love guilt tripping you guys, but that was a tough one, I gotta say. You did manage to take it back out of the forest, though, and bring it to Vincent, and with a couple of very high persuasion checks, you convinced him to take the cub in and try to train it up as a future guardian of his llamas.
A sheep cat.
A sheep cat. It's a pretty smart cat, you never know. So, with any luck, you may come back in a little while and find whatever has become of Matcha.
We can never go back.
Nope. That's it.
We can't face our shame.
After which, you went ahead and returned to Quain, where Helry made a late night visit to Laura to tell her about the limerick she put together. Make sure to go check out our previous episode for that. That was an extraordinary piece of craftsmanship.
Again, I feel the need to defend Helry that Garrett didn't know how late it was. Helry would not have done that, but you know, you roll with the punches.
It's true. You did sort of wake everybody up at 4 a.m. But it was important.
Yeah.
You were also covered in gore.
I was.
So. It was a real interesting image.
No.
This is how the moves are made, folks. She wasn't exactly opposed to the idea, but given the circumstances, it wasn't probably going anywhere that night. But Helry has gotten an invitation back. The rest of the party went down to the docks where they attempted to examine the bottom of the Quain Harbor to look for any sunken wreckages or treasures that the old octopi may have dragged to the depths in the past. Unfortunately, with several investigation checks not super high, they did not manage to find anything of particular note, but Quito and Penny did get to frolic together as octopi in the depths, and that was pretty great.
Sort of worth it.
Well,
After which, you all headed on back to the inn and got yourselves a good night's rest, and that is where we will pick up. So, the morning dawns surprisingly light outside. You're very... Go
I do
ahead.
have some long rest activities.
Okay.
The usual stuff, the potion, and that's probably it actually this time. So just,
Okay. Are you rolling for the potion?
yeah. Do you have the options? or-
Yep, I have the options right over here. Give me 2
see what we
seconds to
get.
bring that up.
Just a D6 on this one?
Yes.
Okay. 3.
Okay, a 3. All right, 1 second.
Oh, I did bring the thing today.
Is that the potion journal?
This,
Doodle-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Jesse's how to
Doodle
make
up.
potions and the different types of
Wow.
Oh, that's the thing from the Iron Belly.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
he
that's
said.
Amazing.
So
3. The potion you mix together, you're kind of experimenting with different herbs and mushrooms and botanical products, as well as just like a squeeze or two of the ooze that came out of the burial mound. And after mixing it all together in a way that just sort of feels right, it ends up this sort of deep, almost metallic cobalt blue color.
okay. And is there a smell?
The smell on this one,
The last one had one. So.
yeah, the smell on this, yeah, that one was minty. This one is almost more like an iron smell to it. It's got a sharpness, almost like blood. Yeah, well, almost like blood, but without quite the sort of death smell floating around it. Very much like, yeah, if you were to like sniff a rusted item.
Gotcha. Cool.
Okay, let me go ahead and write this down.
Who's gonna chug it?
We'll just feed it to Howard who's just feeling bored.
Absolutely not.
You drank the last
You went for the
I ain't a fucking moron. What?
You drank the last one.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, the potion. Yeah, if you made the potion, that's totally fine. Yeah, okay. I thought you all were talking about the cockatrice venom. I was like,
It's literally poison, and we know it.
I'll drink that. I know what it is.
I'm
It's fine.
opposed to this.
There's no secrets.
Okay.
Secrets, this is bad.
Very good. So you've gone ahead and added that to your
Give me-
inventory. Any other long rest activities for folks?
The big sleep.
The big sleep.
Yeah.
Much sleep, wow.
Sleep
I'll be
perchance
wishing
to
I could sleep.
I want to spend some time looking at that sword.
Spend some time looking at the sword. Okay. How are you exactly? Are you attuning to it?
If it can be attuned to, then hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I can ritually cast Identify on that if
I will let him do that first.
we need to.
We
Okay.
also have this helm that needs to be looked at, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, well.
I haven't fully figured out what it does, and I kind of need help with it.
Okay. Yeah. What was
The
the
hound helm.
hound?
The hound helm,
Here's my
I've
picture.
divined that it has divinational properties, and that's about it.
I don't have my notebook on me today. I've got to replace.
Oh, that's quite all right. I wrote it down too. Yeah, it's a helm with a wolf's head on it. It has divinational magic. Is about all I've figured so far.
Well, yeah, I'll take a peek at it. Give me about. I'll come back to you in about an hour. Both of you. I'll have the sword and the helmet done.
Yeah, take your time.
So we'll just loosely get that underway when the Identify happens.
Man, if I could change shape right now, I could turn into a wolf and then wear a hat of a wolf on a wolf head.
Be pretty great.
It'd be great.
A lot of layers.
It'd be so protection because it would fit right.
But you're wolfing.
Wolfception.
Dog on dog world.
Oh god. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
wow.
What do I have to hit the stream director with an arrow?
Everybody attack the stream director.
That's a hell of a shot.
Okay.
Shot through that wall.
Shot through that.
It's okay. I took sharpshooter.
Hey. Okay, so we're identifying the sword as well as the helm.
Yes.
And that's happening, and I believe it only takes about an hour for you to make a potion. It's just it basically says on the long rest, but we're saying it takes you about an hour to construct that. And so because you don't have to, yeah, you can do that. So you take some time and you set up the ritual cast for Identify for both of those, and you find that the greatsword is indeed a +1 greatsword. So it gives +1 to attack rolls and +1 to damage rolls, however, it does require attunement. And the helm is called the Hound's Helm, and it offers advantage on perception checks that are based on smell
Interesting.
while it is worn.
That could be great for your potions. And that would also fit over your mask.
Wouldn't the mask prevent the smell? You'd just be perceiving the
flowers and then-
flowers very better.
Perfect.
Does it grant any defensive bonuses, or is it just the ability in that case?
Nope, but it does not require attunement, so it can be worn by whomever at any time.
I need to smell this. Give me the mask.
I mean, yes.
Well, who's got the best sense of smell?
It depends what shape I am.
Like Edlin's raising his hand.
Maybe Edelyn.
Edlin fairy form gets advantage on perception checks and for smell and hearing.
Well, then you don't need it.
Right.
Twould be redundant.
Wait,
But I do have the best sense of smell.
Maybe the question is who has the worst sense of smell.
Hey.
Oh.
Well, Hillary smells pretty bad right now.
Hi.
Haven't showered yet.
I can fix that, but I don't know if that's gonna help with the helm though.
Yeah.
How does Keto's smelling ability?
You mean nobody?
No, Keto, the
An
dog.
octopus.
Put him in the helmet.
Do
Fill the helmet
octopi
with
He
smell?
is the best dog.
Fill the helmet with water and put
Through
keto
their,
in it.
like, through their bodies, kind of, I think.
They're like a big mucous membrane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Can they smell really?
in the air, not so good.
I'm just imagining Keto with that wolf helmet on and the wet cape, and we got a superhero coming right now.
He'd probably turn into a little tiny, funky looking sheepdog.
Wait, he'd actually be dog.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh.
Let me figure
I
this
mean,
out.
it might come in handy in some situations.
Yeah,
It's-
we'll
it's
hold
cool.
on to it.
Keto is a small octopus, so just fill the helm with water and let Keto sit in the helm.
That's why we have a cape.
Well, yeah, then you put the cape over top, and he's got water and the cape, and he can just like stick out an arm and wave it around in the air to catch some scent molecules, pull it back in, and tell you what he smells.
You're describing like a clam now. Anyway,
I feel like we're working a little hard on
so
this.
moving on with the
I'm gonna
night,
mull it
are
over,
there?
I'm gonna mull it
So
over.
that was the identification stuff,
worries.
and you're a, I believe you're a half elf.
Yep.
Yeah. So you do still need 8 hours.
We get 6 hours plus 2 hours of whatever time.
Yeah.
But we're not.
We'll say
leaving
identifying was just
tomorrow.
downtime on those 2 hours. So you're gonna
The day
need.
after.
You're probably gonna have a kind of a late night if you all want a full rest. So you'll probably won't wake up until close to noon or 1 p.m.
I think we still have
I don't know
one
what
day
that's
according
like.
to.
Not even one.
I'll make it about
You're having a serious Netflix evening. Okay.
I'll take a bath and go to bed.
Okay. Bath time in bed.
4 hours.
Hmm.
I mean, no, 4 hours. I'll be up at 8 having breakfast.
Well, that's fair.
You'll be
You
the
can
only
do
one.
that.
Yes,
The rest of us will be
work
quiet.
for me.
Okay. So the night wears on. You all go to your various locations of rest and repose, and the morning dawns with a surprisingly light, jolly atmosphere. You are pretty used to Quain being very stormy and gloomy. However, these clouds have broken momentarily, revealing a dazzling blue sky overhead and this constant kind of vortices of the sun moving across the sky. You emerge out of your rooms and start to head down to the common room, or is there anything anybody wants to do in their room prior? Okay. And with that, everybody is now out in the common room of the inn. You can smell cooking food going about, the spicy scent of tart of wars being made, and the patrons are beginning to start to make their way in for their breakfast before heading on to their day. Well, actually, given the time y'all woke up, Edlin, you would have seen this. At this point, it's pretty empty in there for most folks around noon, 1 o'clock. There's some folks coming in for lunch, but most folks are still out on the boats or at the docks. All right. Nobody.
We share a room too.
Thought it was a good fight.
Whoa.
Where's that music coming from?
Maybe there's.
Who the fuck is this?
Diddly diddly doo.
New spell, Edward. How do you like it?
Jolly music, activate.
Bugs.
Can't stand
It's a
him.
bit early for sort of bog and
Flashy.
everything, but who knows? Maybe that's the thing they do here.
Oh, should we go down and get some food?
Yeah, I think
Ow.
I just finished up my potion. It's a
What
bit,
story building?
smells a bit funky, but we'll find out what it does soon enough.
May I smell it? Smells like blood.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it though. At least not mine. What's yours look like?
Is this real?
I've seen its blood.
I'm actually gonna probably say kind of a bluish tint. There's silver oxide and whatnot in there.
Steal his blood
It's
in
too
the
dark.
evening?
Okay, well,
That's how you
I guess it won't work as a decent substitute for your blood then.
That is a shame.
But we could still try and pump you full of it if you want.
Doing a transfusion? Like, what's going on over here?
We will leave that for another time.
No, I think that's probably best. I think I should figure out what it does first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry though. A little breakfast, you think?
Oh, what time is it?
Like noon.
Midday.
Yes.
I suppose the others probably up.
Some of them, perhaps. That was very restful sleep.
I agree. I actually slept quite well.
Well, let us see what they have. And I sort of stumble out of the room, kind of.
All right, Penny.
Penny comes down the stairs to get some food. Probably sees Evelyn.
No stairs.
And she's, oh, right. Oh my gosh, every single time.
Building.
Kaz is outside building the second floor. I'm done with this.
It feels
I'm gonna make this
wrong.
happen.
That's the thing. That's why she looks so haggard. She thinks she's coming downstairs. Yeah.
That's the whole reason.
Her hair is
sleep
just
well on the first
disheveled, and she's just. Nights are the worst. Boring. People go away. Sit there, do nothing. Huh. Morning.
Good morning. You should have gone and had breakfast with me.
I'll eat breakfast. I'll eat food. I'll get some drinks. Are there drinks here?
Hi, good morning to ya. How are we doing this fine, well, afternoon at this point?
It's morning.
Well rested.
Is it only Sars and Hellray? How are you coming out?
Oh, I'm outside holding the big wooden beams for him building the second floor.
Am I holding the hammer right?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't frankly know what they're building out there, but it ain't gonna last the next storm, I can tell you that.
No, it's all falling over.
I get it.
No, I'll ritual cast detect poison and disease and get myself some food.
All right.
I am currently chewing through what was my half-eaten little pastry that I stole.
It was just like a baguette.
It was a little baguette. I stuffed it away. I started chewing on it, fell asleep, and then I woke up and continued. Slightly stale, definitely crushed, and I am just gnawing on it.
Well, I can get you something a little fresher than that then, dear.
I wouldn't mind that. Some with a little protein or something.
All right, well, how about a little bit of toast and eggs going around?
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Sure.
All right.
I would like all the toasted eggs that you have.
Toast and eggs it is.
Now, you might have misheard it. You might have thought he said some toast and eggs or a lot of toast and eggs. He said he wants all the toast and eggs that you have.
Yeah, whatever he doesn't eat, I can get rid of
I'm just
it.
playing, darling. Let us take breakfast.
I think you underestimate how many toasts and eggs he keeps around here.
Challenge accepted.
Well, they'll be paying extra for bulk. All right.
Could I have a better look so I can actually estimate next time?
Sure, why the hell not? Here you go.
Just run to the back room.
Yeah, you look in the back room and it is loaded down. There are these sorts of crates. There are these crates that have been built into the walls, and they've got runic symbols across the fronts of them. Look like very simple symbols, and based on your cursory examination of them, it looks like something that helps to extend the shelf life of things placed in them. It is loaded down with eggs, poultry, ingredients for all manner of different meals. There are bundles of dried herbs hanging from the ceiling all over the place, as well as meats hanging to cure as well, which look to be only about half done at this point, but you can imagine in a couple weeks here, it ought to be pretty good.
Is anybody watching me back there?
Yeah, she's back there with you. Hi, so what do you think?
Esmond, that's stealing.
I think you've got quite a lovely selection of herbs and stuff up here. And that is more eggs than I thought.
It's a lot of eggs. We serve fisher folk and a whole manner of hard workers here, so we have to keep plenty around.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate it quite a bit.
The cook kind of comes around the corner. What you doing back here?
Well, I actually just wanted to see how many eggs you had. And toast, too, actually.
Enough.
Looks like it. You're doing a lovely job.
Well, thank you.
No problem. My name's Des.
Well, I'm Hod.
Hi, Hod. Hod.
Clandestiny, the story of 7 weirdos making their dungeon master invent grumpy cooks and describe kitchens at the drop of a hat.
To be fair, me
Garrett wouldn't know anything about
describing
that.
food is a cornerstone of this game world at this point.
Yep.
So we're making a cookbook, dang it. It's gotta all be Maybe we'll make a YouTube channel. It'll all be just really, really grumpy cooks who are presenting how to make these things.
And Penny.
And yeah, perfect.
And rules.
I actually really like that. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Well, Hod, it's you keep up the good work. I'm going to go back and join my crew here.
Yeah. Well, you have a good rest of your day now.
How many eggs did they have?
Quick count.
Cursory examination.
Hundreds.
Yeah, in the hundreds for sure. Layered upon one another.
Several hundred. Some are green, some are brown.
Well, but were they all the same shape, like all from chickens, or were some quail or duck or emu? Emu have gray eggs.
How green?
What the hell is an emu?
I've never seen an emu.
Oh, they're so cool, and you can stand on their eggs without them breaking because the shells are super hard. They're like really, really big birds. But if like you have to take care of the little babies and maybe transport them from one spot to another because maybe one's sick and you need to take care of it, then the emus are circling you and chasing you and you're afraid for your life. But it's okay because you're taking care of their babies and you're gonna give them back. You just want to make sure that little wing's fixed.
I think I knew a kid who went through an emu phase once.
Oh God, sorry.
Take an inspiration die for that one.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Deserves it.
Oh.
Deserves it.
Woof.
Can I walk up right about this time?
Yes, Kaz, I'm assuming you've also emerged at this point. Everyone
Yeah,
kind of came out roughly the same.
I kind of took a moment to stand back and just listen to the conversation. I kind of sit there and I smile to myself, really happily pleased. And then I just kind of sit down and start pulling out some stuff out of my bags. So, what's the plan for today? And eggs.
Well, we were gonna set out. When were we gonna set out?
I think that was tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow is
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow by the latest, at least. I think.
We should check with Cadius.
Yeah, because he said 2 days, but that was in the evening, so it could be like one day, and this is the second day. So
Right.
what time would we
Yeah.
take off if it was
Double
today?
check with him,
Well,
make
he
sure
said
we're
he
not
was
sitting
leaving
out.
early, so I'm pretty sure if he's leaving today, he's already gone.
Hope not. Also, since Larry sent us out to the Griswold Estates, we should see if he wants to give us anything for taking care of that little situation.
It's probably a good idea. Should we all go together this time?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I actually was planning to do some work on some spell scroll making. Is that all right if I hang back here and work on that?
Sure.
Not that I don't love seeing this gentleman.
You know, I think that it's good to stay in groups always. I'll stay with you.
That's smart.
Well, I was going to say some of us should go check with Cadius and see exactly what time we're leaving tomorrow.
I
That's
can
also
do that too.
I will do this.
Good.
Also, I was under the impression that you had visited Larian last night.
That was a ruse.
And
Yeah.
I see.
What was the end goal of this ruse, or is that the ruse?
Pick up some strange.
Strange what?
What?
Huh?
What? Yeah. What?
What's
Yeah, so anyway, it was too late. So I didn't end up talking to Larry.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
It
We
was
don't come
quite
much
late.
stranger than
It's
Larry.
very late.
He didn't finish
It
his
would have been
sentence.
rude to
I
simply
don't know what
barge into
strange
someone's
things
home
she's
that
looking
late.
for.
Yeah.
Well, they don't come much stranger than Larry.
That is true, I guess.
It was late enough that their kitchens weren't even open, that's for sure.
That's right. I forgot about that detail.
Well, I think
We do seem to end up in a lot of kitchens.
Wait,
Too many cooks.
very hungry
Too
folk.
many cooks.
Too many cooks?
In any case, I will go see Cadius, who is coming with.
Yeah, I can go with you.
Edlin, Saurus. Very good.
I'm gonna be staying here working on some stuff.
Edlin, Saurus, and nobody are going to see Cadius. We've got Kaz and Penny sticking around here in the inn, doing some item creation stuffs. And then we got Hillary and Desmond going to...
How much leather do I have actually? Because we went to the shop and got a bunch of leather for the clandestine outfits.
Yeah, I think we got enough for all of the outfits, if I remember correctly.
Okay. In that case,
You got a ton of it.
If a crew is sticking around by the inn, maybe I'll just work on a second outfit.
Okay. Sweet. Take the day to work on some more outfits.
Yeah.
Leaving Hillary alone going to...
Nope. Then I'll go with Hillary.
Nope. All right.
Not alone.
All right.
Unless
I mean,
you
I'm
wanna
fine. No, I'm fine either way, to be honest. I think once we took out what's-her-face, I don't think that there's too much gonna come up and surprise me and Queen. And to be totally honest, I want my outfit.
All right. Well, let me get your measurements first, and
Yeah,
then
sure.
I'll get working on it right away.
June just starts dropping armor and everything.
Here we go. All right.
Okay. Would you hold this in, please?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'll just hold this in.
Has Hillary taken a bath?
Hillary took a bath when she got home last night. Yeah.
Then we'll
All right.
proceed to do
All
the
right.
measurements.
Just because it's Hillary, are you like naked for this process?
Oh,
then?
100%.
Oh, okay.
I was
yeah.
expecting nothing less.
Yeah, I assumed
In
as
the middle
much,
of the
but
conference, next to the dining table.
in all of her glory.
Also, interestingly, Hillary is very capable of helping you out.
All right.
Just knows exactly what to hold where and which measurements go next, and inseam to outside and everything like that. Has done this, seems like she's done this plenty of times before.
This is the second time that. This is the second time Des has done it, so he doesn't know.
Just hold this position. Oh, you're going right.
In that
You
case,
want
I'm
the
a-
inseam to go right here, not, you don't want to go from the middle of the thigh. That's a common mistake a lot of people make. You want to go right here all the way down to the bump on the ankle, not the depression of the ankle.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll worry about the bump on the ankle then, and you can.
Oh, no, I understand. Yeah, I
And did you go back to your room for this, or is this just in the middle of the?
Yes. No.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, look.
Yeah.
Okay,
The fact
so
that
you
he had to ask.
go. This is a dungeon master who's seen too much. Okay. All right.
So after the measurements are taken, I will just get right to business.
Incidentally, I will give you the help action on that tinkering check.
Okay.
Because Hillary was giving you some good advice during that process.
16 plus bonuses, or 18 plus bonuses.
Oh yeah, you are well on your way to making a pretty darn nice outfit. This is going to take you most of today to do, so
Better than the
you
last
kind of
one.
settle in, especially because there's a little bit more material that goes into this one. But you've got a little bit of a better sense for how it's all going to go together, given Hillary's advice, and you set to work.
It's Tinker's
let me go ahead and-
intelligence. I think it is, right?
For this one, yes.
Okay, so then it'd be 25.
Yeah, that's funny. You're crafting a pretty nice something or other. Okay. Kaz, what are you working on?
I was going to make a scroll of mage armor.
A scroll of mage armor, and that is a first level spell.
Yep. It should
Okay.
cost me 25 gold piece worth of spell materials, and I bought 50.
Okay.
And then I was just gonna probably chat with Penny if she's there, just while I'm doing it.
All right. Go ahead and get started. And you're going to make an... what is the crafting check on this again? Golly gee.
Would I just use Arcana?
I would say probably just Arcana for this one.
Is it? I don't know if there is a check required if you're already of a class that can make them.
You know, it's still like a skill, basically. So this is sort of determining how effectively he's able to make it. It's not- that's enough. It's not as... Actually, is Penny helping?
I mean, sure. I don't know how I can help, but I'll. If we're outside and it does start raining again, I'll make sure that water doesn't get on the scroll, so it doesn't like bleed.
Yeah, it's a nice day. Why don't we do this outside? It might be a little better.
Or I'll have gusts of wind so it will drive it in faster.
Ah.
There we go.
14.
Okay,
If
with,
it-
four,
if it
with
get
14, yeah, you feel like you're getting a pretty effective scroll being built in front of you there. Okay, going out to the Cadius group. We've got Edlin, Saurus, and Nobody heading down to the docks. Okay.
Pat Kaz and Penny on the head as I walk by. Stay safe, make good choices, drink lots of water,
No, maybe. That order.
get into some trouble.
All right.
Have fun.
As you're making your way down to the docks, the atmosphere is quite nice in town. It is, again, a sunny day. People seem to be walking with a spring in their step. There's more smiles on faces than you've seen thus far in Quain. And as you're making your way down towards the long set of winding stairs going down to the ocean, you see that there are several wagons already being assembled up here at the top of this incline. And you can see Cadius and his crew kind of currently lashing products down, securing things onto the wagon, putting oilcloths over the top of bundles that have already been finished. And Cadius says, all right then, a little tighter on that one. You best be careful with that one there. That's worth more than you are. All right, make sure that gets tucked in there. I'm just kidding. Come on, bud. All right. So, yeah. All right, that should be good. All right, on to the next wagon. And they're just kind of going around shouting instructions.
Cadius.
Oh, how you doing then?
Very well. We were checking in to see if you had prepared yet.
Well, we're going to be packing up most of today. We got to get the wagons all set to go and make sure that we got enough provisions to make our way all the way across to Pyre as our next stop. But yeah, we'll be heading out first light tomorrow.
All right.
First light tomorrow.
Sounds good. We just wanted to double check, make sure we didn't miss anything, or if you had an accelerated timeline or anything.
Nope. You all had a good night?
Yeah, ran a little bit later than expected, but
That's what I like to hear.
But can't really complain. I mean, all right.
We killed a hill.
Yeah, you ever?
Ow.
Yeah.
That's,
And a cat.
is that a euphemism?
No.
It was an unfortunate truth. But the hero definitely needed to die.
Yes.
Again.
Absolutely.
It seems like it's seen death a couple times.
Well, glad you really showed that geological formation. What for? Yeah, well,
Well, if it hadn't got up and chased us, we wouldn't have had to kill it.
Yes, this is true. It did
the hill chased
surprise
you.
us.
Yes.
What in the absolute fuck?
It was a large hill that spit out skeletons and
Very well.
attacked us.
What, you're being serious right now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was out by the llama farm.
That's,
Yeah, we.
concerning.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
it's dead now.
we were helping Vincent with a job, or his alarm just got taken in the middle of the night, so we were looking into that and ended up in the woods, and there's this mountain that just decided it wanted to get up and hit at us, and I didn't like that very much.
Joel killed it then, eh?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Oh, shit. Well, that's not around anymore. Wouldn't want to be facing that in the middle of the night on a long journey or something. I'll make sure to mark that one down as another list of the possible ways to die out here. Wonderful. Well, I needed to sleep a little lighter tonight anyway.
I do not think they can reach boats.
Yeah, they don't seem to be particularly fast.
But do you know that?
Well, I haven't really put it through a stress test. Let's go find another one. Challenge to a race
we
or
will have to
something.
test.
Yeah, well, let me know how that works out. Anyway, anything else I can help you with while you're over here?
Just checking to see what time you wanted to go in the morning.
All right, first light then.
First light.
I was interested in a weapon.
All right.
Something infused with magic.
Well, let's see here. Are you looking for something sort of like what you're carrying now? Like
Yes.
a longsword kind of deal?
Yes.
Yeah, let me see here. I got...
What an interlude.
Yeah, I got some more of these Yuan-Ti scimitars, the masterwork variety. +1 infused with some magical power from them, but as far as actual long swords, I was hoping to pick some of those up down in Vesic when we're doing trading.
Very well. While we are in your service, may I borrow a scimitar?
Persuasion check.
How much?
It will make me more effective at protecting you. Ooh, that's a nice 3.
Ooh. I mean,
Solid.
you did already kill a hill. Seems like you might not need the extra help.
Yes.
That and
Good point.
unfortunately, pre-used scimitars kind of depreciate in value, you know. So I think for right now, we'll hold off on that. But if you find out that you're kind of useless without it, then I'll get you one.
How much are they?
Magic. It's extremely durable.
Well, yeah, but you know, pre-used is always a little tagline on things.
How much did you want for those scimitars? I don't remember when I bought one.
Yeah, so one of those scimitars is 200 gold pieces.
I will be fine.
Okay.
I'm much better with this.
Oh yeah. That looks like it'll fuck something up real good.
Yes. A bit rusty though. Anyway.
Did a number
I'll
on
tell
it?
you what, I do have some pretty nice rust remover that I got from them. Apparently extracted from some kind of deep water seal. They dive down, they tangle with like sea serpents down below, and apparently they've got a special kind of blubber on them that when you reduce it down becomes an incredibly effective rust remover. And that one I can sell to you for just 5 gold pieces for a bottle.
I like the rust.
All right, well, let me know if you change your mind.
If the shard doesn't kill him, the tetanus will.
Does it do anything other than remove rust?
Smells like piss.
I like the rust.
All right.
Taken from the belly buttons of sea monsters, it's navel jelly.
All right. Anything else?
That will be all. Thank you. Did you have any business to attend to?
Oh, no. Just going with. I like to be.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you all at first light tomorrow. Maybe get a good night's rest. Don't stay up too late, and hopefully we'll make it as far as the lake tomorrow.
All right.
With any luck, anyway.
Shall we return?
Yep. I turn around and start walking back.
I believe there may be more eggs.
One can only hope.
Maybe some more pastries.
Hillary.
Before I take off, gonna get back dressed and everything like that. Make sure everything's clean, spruce up. Take the new sword, buckle it on my back. Take the great axe.
So you attune to the sword. Okay. Feels good. Feels good getting this thing, like, it feels like it sort of sinks into you a little bit and it feels like part of you after it's been attuned. You put it on your back and you feel this kind of like chest out, kind of like shoulders squared feeling, like, yeah.
Okay? That makes Hillary happy.
That makes Garrett very nervous. But yeah, okay.
She stick her chest out with her armor on.
Squish.
She had very good posture when you're taking measurements.
Hillary's posture is immaculate at all times. Take the great axe.
Where's it going?
Just looking over like that.
Take the great axe. Put it in the bag. Yeah. Walk out the door. Turn back around, open the door, come inside, take the great axe, take the sword off. No, it's fine. It's fine. Put the axe down, put the sword on. It's fine. Head off for Rosewell Manor.
Okay. Sounds good. You head off down there, you reach the palisade, the guards let you in, no problem, and you stride back into the Rosewell Manor.
Before I reach the manor, I cast Eagle Splendor on myself.
Okay. You are looking splendiferous.
Sure I am.
You make your way inside. You can see that the tables are laden down with what looks to be the tail end of a luncheon. Larian is at one end of the table, one large haunch of what looks to be goat in one hand, a entire pie in the other hand that he's kind of just like, he's taking a bite and then he's sort of like grabbing a fork and just scooping out. Face immaculate, no drizzle, no grime or what have you from his feasting, but he has plowed through what looks to be about a third of this table by himself.
Sure.
As you enter, welcome back. And the guards tell me you came by sometime last night, and Laura tells me you had some success.
Yes, indeed.
Real quick, is Saphira in the room?
Saphira is not in the room at this time.
Walk up, do the wrist clasp and everything.
So we headed out to the farm, found out what was troubling Vincent. He had one of them displacer beasts. You know what they are?
Absolutely.
Well.
Dangerous beasts. Tangled with more than one myself.
Yeah, so that's what was getting the llamas, but that's not even where it gets interesting.
Really now? Do go on.
We chased this thing into the woods, right? And we killed it. And then we found a burial mound that came alive and attacked us. Yeah.
Now this sounds like a tale.
It sure was. It was a hell of a fight. It was trying to swallow us one after the other. I barely got out from inside of it. And we took it down, but whew, that was a fight. That was a fight and a half.
I've heard tell of formations such as that coming to life and attacking, but never one burial mound, you say?
Yeah. So they how much you know about the Shadowfell and stuff like that?
About as much as I've read in fairy tales and whatnot. Terrible place full of depression, angsty folks, and elves that think they're too hot stuff. Anyway, Well, long story.
Tell us how you really feel.
Look, not elves in general, just those.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Jesse the Dungeon Master is dissing Shadar Kai, too.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, Salamir, what?
So it turns out that these burial mounds, they're, relics, they're old. Some of them are from the age of Danu and whatnot. And the longer they're around, the more likely that this sort of energy of the Shadowfell can sort of start to seep in and turn them into something dangerous. So we was thinking it might be good when you keep sending patrols out and whatnot, keep an eye out for things like that. And if you see them, maybe break them up, see if you can inter the bones in another way, something like that.
Well, that's good advice. I admit I've never heard of a burial mound rising up, but certainly seeds are more than common. Unfortunately, it's considered very bad luck to break up burial mounds. It tends to bring about misfortune and, on occasion, curses, which we do like to avoid.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, just something to keep in mind. Anyway, that's been taken care of. In that
case, I have something for you for your efforts, and this goes to all of your party members, correct?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
All right, he reaches in, he pulls out a hefty pouch of gold, hands it over to you. There's a 250 for dealing with the situation at the Grizzlewald estate, and, for the information on the mound and the extra benefit of you taking care of it, here's an additional 150.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, you've done a great service for Quain and the people here.
Well, I appreciate that. Hey, listen about the extra 150. I just wanted to check and see if I was looking to maybe upgrade my armor, and I didn't know if you had anything on hand that would be better than what I got. If you do, and it's no trouble to part with it, I would accept that over the extra 150.
You currently got a breastplate on, is that right?
No, a chainmail. So it would
Chainmail.
be split mail or plate mail, but that's like...
Kind of looks you up and down. Well, I can't say I have anything that has particular proportions of the breastplate, but I do have some plate armor in the armory that I could certainly part with.
Cool. Well, that would. I mean, that would be much appreciated. I don't want to put you out or anything. Garrett's freaking out. That would be wonderful if that's acceptable. Again, I don't want to appear grasping at all.
No. Let's see here. Well, okay. Maybe Jesse did not remember how much plate armor actually. Why is generic plate armor that expensive? Okay.
I mean, it was really rare. It was really hard to make.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Well,
First edition plate armor was
I tell you what.
0.
Out of game, splint mail would be the next step up.
Yeah.
Plus one armor
Let's
class.
let's retroactively say that's split mail. I
makes more
totally
sense.
had like 150 gold for it in my head, but no, you need to add an extra 0 to that. Yeah. So yeah, 150. I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? But that's so unfortunately no on the plate armor for this time. But yes, I've got some splint mail. I think we can arrange for you. It's also little emblazoned as well, if you're interested. It's got the Rosewell colors on it, and
Rosewell colors real quick.
they are crimson as well as gold.
God, I like it.
Fuck yes.
It's gonna go great with the.
Oh my god, I'm fucking Iron Man.
He snaps, and one of the servants rushes off. Returns after a short period of time with this large kind of it's currently bundled up into the pieces are tied together and folded within one another, but it's very heavy even still carrying
Oh,
it.
let me help you with that. Yo, thank you very much.
For you, it's just very, very nice. It's these interlocking bands of metal that are actually sort of woven together. Each band is kind of cross-strapped with these kind of vivid, deep blood crimson colors, along with accents of gold on several of the bands that are around, especially around the collar and around kind of the joints and whatnot. Or across the midsection, it sort of interlocks into this V shape of different bands crisscrossing one another.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Well, thank you very much. And here's the extra bit of the reward. I appreciate that very much.
No, keep that. You're fine.
Really? Well, you are too kind.
Well, keep doing work like this for us, and it's definitely worth having adventurers around that can hold their own.
Well, on a related note, we are planning on lighting out first thing tomorrow. I didn't know if you had anything else that was quick that could be wrapped up today.
At this point, not so much, but I recommend you go out and enjoy the day. This is the nicest it's been in months.
Sure, I certainly will. I absolutely will. Well, thanks very much. I better go hook back up with everybody else.
All right. Well, you have an excellent rest of your day, Hilary, and please come by again and let me know more about what you find in the Claw Garden.
Sure, absolutely will. Hey, you know what would be fun? I don't know if you already have plans, but what if we came for a goodbye dinner tonight?
I'd be more than happy.
Wonderful. Fantastic. I'll propose it to everybody. I don't know if anybody else has anything going on, but I'll bring it to them.
Yeah, bring your friends by. We'll have a feast of it.
Fantastic. All right. You take care now.
All right. You start to head on out. You see Laura also kind of off to one side, currently jotting down in her book. She looks
Why
up
didn't you lead with that?
and gives you, well, she's always with him.
Okay, good.
That's kind of her job, is to tail him and come up with epic sagas.
Then I will make eye contact with her, when I think he's probably not going to notice, and I will say,
I will see you later tonight.
All right, sounds good.
Good.
Okay. So you make your way back out into the warm, sunny day outside Queen. The rest of you, so we have our Cadius group kind of making their way back to the inn at this point. We're going to say that you guys kind of crisscross and meet one another on the way. Okay?
Holy shit.
Kaz, you had something?
Just before they get back, I wanted to talk with Penny.
Okay,
But if
yeah.
you want to take care of them first, you can.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was meaning to ask you this, and I hope it's, not too personal. I've noticed you are quite fond of the outdoors. Why is it that you spend so much time in the city with us? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, I spent my whole life essentially outdoors. So, this is really my first time being out and about and being able to see this. So all of it's so new that it's fascinating to me. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of things I am not a big fan of. So like Larian, for example, everything's so gaudy, unnecessary, and he's just kind of rude. I'm so glad that Hillry's already like talked to him, so we don't ever have to talk to him again or see him. But like meeting people and seeing the architecture and like here in Quang how all the roofs are so slanted, and it makes me think of like it actually refers to like there's different trees and how their branches are slanted differently depending on the weather, and how that's reflected in what architecture people have done is really interesting. And it's so different. It's so different. So while I'm a lot more comfortable out and about, I don't know, it's something new. And elves live kind of a long time, and so it's good to see something new.
Interesting. I was always curious about it and wasn't really sure how to bring it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm kind of excited that we could like sit here together, because you seem kind of quiet and like you're here and you're part of the group, but also I'm like I don't really know you. I don't know anyone here. It's really interesting. Yeah. What brought you here?
Oh, I've always been curious about adventuring. I was kind of closed off growing up. I didn't get to really see much. So a lot of times I spent my days reading books. And I pull out some of the tomes out of my backpack, and essentially they're just fantasy novels of just adventurers in general. This was always a dream of mine, to go out and make friends and see the world around me. I'm just taking the only opportunity I really think I have to do so.
I love that. I've tried like learning stories through just tales that people tell and things like that, but I can't picture it. Like I just can't see what they're describing in my head, and so that's where I like pulled out her journal. Like I write stuff, but I just draw pictures like all day, and it's interesting because now I can remember it, because I can re-look and I can actually see it. Because in my head, I don't.
I'll tell you this much. Your journal is way more interesting than most of the tomes I've read. I pretty much always just imagined it in my own head. I never got the opportunity to see things like that.
Yeah.
Besides just old tapestries and those things. So, but yeah, I understand that greatly. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit more distant.
No, I mean, that's all right. Everyone's whatever you're comfortable with. I don't, you should be who you are and don't feel like confined to fit under someone else's structure. I understand that completely. I really, really do.
Yeah, I'm trying, but this is all new to me as well. And I'm from these kind of, this is a small town compared to what I'm from, but...
Where are you from?
The east. East of the mountains.
Okay. I heard those names, but I didn't write it down. Wait. I met someone. Oh, we're gonna go to Pyre. I met someone in Pyre, and he was from Worthrin. And that's east of the mountains, I think.
Wuthrum?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember from the notes.
Or Wuthring, sorry. So you go and roll a history check.
Their name was Reba, and they're half-orc fishermen. Do you know them?
19.
Wuthring is a town that's about probably a week and a half's journey south of Durnod. It is it's a pretty long way away. However, it is right at the point where the Dormer Range meets the Mistcoil jungles.
Okay.
It is a weird place. You generally end up having to go through there on your travels around. It's sort of a stop for Durnod Savoynes who are making their way down south towards Vesic. However, it's kind of like there's this main thoroughfare that you go through there where there's all these like shops and places that are more civilized. But then on the outskirts of it, you have some very colorful people that observe traditions that they keep very close to themselves. You don't know a whole lot about their specific sorts of traditions, but you do know that there are a lot of people that tend to go out into the jungles periodically. You know, there are folks who there are rumors of, you know, sort of occult groups down there as well that tend to do their own thing, and you don't go messing with what they're doing because people will disappear down there sometimes. But generally speaking, it's a safe enough town as long as you stick to the main Savoyans highway.
Gotcha.
And then there's a part that's built way up on a hill. Sometimes they call that Wuthering Heights.
Anyway,
I'm upset now.
I've heard of it. I've been there a couple times. I've tried to stay in more populated areas, but it's a nice enough place. What was the person's name you said again?
Reba. He's a half orc and he was a fisherman, which is obviously why he's no longer there because there's not a whole lot of fishing out there.
I'm guessing I've never met this individual.
No.
Sounds like a nice fellow nonetheless.
He was. He bought us a drink and then we bought him a drink and then he bought us a drink and then we bought him a drink. It was really great.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, were you in the inn back in Skith? I think you were.
That was the other campaign, wasn't it?
No, that was this campaign. I think only nobody was the only one who did not go to that inn.
No, this was Bar. This was our session 0.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Bara. Right.
I have yet to make it to Bara.
Getting my town. Y'all have gotten to a lot of towns so far. That's great. Okay, yes, that was Bara. Never mind.
Yeah.
So you would not have met him yet.
No, we're in Queen.
Quite right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My towns are getting flipped.
And
Where are we?
you met this gentleman in Bara, you said?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's where I was originally headed.
Oh, well, and that's where we're heading now. We should be there, I think, tomorrow. Well, it takes a couple days to get over there, but that's where we'll be heading out with the crew.
Excellent. That was my
Kitties.
that was my original first destination when I started my adventure. So I'll actually get to see it. That's exciting.
It's really fun.
Is it?
They have these boats that fly in the air. They're like floating gondola. I can't explain it. The Hillary Spanoff one. Oh my gosh, you have to be there. Anyway, we'll see it. You'll see it. You'll love it. It's great. And don't rock the boat too much if Cyrus is on that one because he gets a little sick.
Where?
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
You are not there.
All right. About this time, the rest of you reconvene out on the streets of Quain. You're kind of wandering. The group from the docks is coming back towards the center of town as Hillary is coming back in sort of from the southern edge of town.
My,
meet
you
them.
are quick, aren't you?
Boy, that went much better than expected. That was awesome. So I got the money that he promised, plus an extra bonus, plus he gave me a whole new suit of armor.
Wow.
That was great. I'm happy about that. Anyway, we should go back to the inn and discuss it further, but he also invited us for a farewell feast tonight.
Oh, I think that's all right.
Are we back at the inn with everybody?
You're outside currently.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, let's head in and just bring it up with everybody.
All right.
Get situated.
Nobody, do you have something to?
I was just trying to figure out where we all were.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll pop
Raise
inside,
them back in.
round of drinks and whatnot.
Okay. You go back inside of the common room. I believe Kaz and Penny, are you currently in your rooms working on this, or you're out kind of in the common room?
So
They were
when
meant to be sitting outside, they said.
we were outside
Oh, right, you were
looking up
outside.
spell scroll, it takes like a day.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I probably wouldn't be able to go with them to dinner because I'm making this roll.
I'll say you can take a break for meals. Like you can take like a break here and there. But so we'll say you can go get dinner.
It's a day's work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not 24 hours of work.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're talking like 8 to 10 hours basically of effort put into this. So you can go to dinner there at the end of the day if you're so inclined. Yeah, you see them both kind of sitting outside the inn, enjoying the sunshine, and Kaz sort of bent over scribbling on this sheet of parchment he's got open in front of him. Penny kind of periodically looking forward. Druid crafting, you see like little gusts of wind. There are points where like there's sort of shadows sort of falling across it, and she's like, boop, boop, boop. There's little fireflies that appear and give a little bit of light. Yeah. So you guys kind of walk up and see them there.
Hey, howdy. First things first, Kaz, here's 400 gold. We got a little bonus for bringing back some extra info about the burial mound and everything.
Are we wanting to divvy up part of this 400, or do we want it all in party funds?
Up to everybody else. I'd be fine 50-50.
All right, I can do that. That would probably be easier. So,
Okay.
let me look at my abacus and figure this out.
Sure. Like I was just saying, Larry invited us all for a farewell feast tonight at Rosewell Manor, if we're so inclined. I definitely want to go, but,
I am definitely so inclined.
yeah.
Cadia said we're leaving at first light, so
Yeah.
try not to stay too late at Larry's place.
Will do.
That's fair.
What's everybody else thinking?
Well, I can
think
go
we
for a
have to
meal.
stay
I've been pretty hard at work all day. Actually, I've got most of it quite done, actually. So here's yours so far. Is it
done?
It's not done yet. There's still some stuff to do.
Okay.
This is another kind of like almost full day's project. But definitely the basics of it are complete. All of the stuff, all the leather has been cut for it, and some of the pieces are now semi-sewn together to Helry's majestic proportions.
Hell yes.
So I actually had a couple design choices that I wanted to run by you. So I noticed actually that you had some scarring around your right knee.
Sure, yeah.
So I put a little reinforcement and compression in there for you.
Okay.
So that should support in case it's from an old injury or something.
Sure, well, it ain't troubling me now, but I guess it won't in the future neither.
Well, that's the hope, anyways.
Great. That looks amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh man, I can't wait till that's done. By the way, I got a new suit of armor from Larry, so I don't know if you want to see it to like integrate it or whatnot, but I was gonna go toss it on.
Yeah, let me make sure that at least it can fit over the top of this, or that we can work around it.
Sure, yeah.
I will run inside.
Okay.
Oh, Hillary! And I toss
okay.
a bag of gold for 33 gold at her.
Oh, thank you very much.
33 gold to each one of you. Desmond, I know you don't take gold, but
That incredulous look. Excuse me.
No, I know.
we do have a couple other things that maybe you're interested in. We have these 2 rubies. I think we valued them at 200 gold
I
apiece.
think that's right. I don't have my notes, but
Yeah, is that something you might need or use by chance? Or does anybody need or use that for something in particular?
I give him a ruby.
Yeah, here. And I tossed you one of the rubies worth 200 gold pieces.
Okay.
We also found 4 of these night worms that are crawling through my bag because I don't have a proper jar for them.
Oh, I've got a jar.
Do you want those? Do you have a jar possible for those?
We'll put them in the jar here, and I'll figure it out.
I put
Poke
them
some
in.
holes.
I forget what you call them specifically. I put 4 night worms.
Fright crawlers.
Yeah.
Those are break rollers.
I appreciate that. They were eating my books.
Do you need to poke some holes in the jar so they can eat? And maybe some dirt in there?
Yeah, let
Take
me.
care of
Can I just use mending to put some holes in?
It's like literally
Reverse
opposite of bending, isn't it? I mean, you can. Yes,
Oh,
you
is that
can
even
do that. It's just like hilarious. Someone using mending to put holes in something.
Well, I usually use mending to if I pull the sole off a shoe, I'll reattach it.
Yeah.
To get to the glue or something underneath.
I mean, mending is almost halfway between a spell and an actual artificer sort of technique. It's a cantrip. You can do it whenever. So I'm going to say it's sort of like you using tinkering for a fairly mundane purpose, and this just sort of smooths over the process. But
All right, cool.
Don't quote me on that for everything. But for this case, yeah.
So maybe I'll punch the holes with my dagger, but use mending to round them out so we don't cut ourselves on the raw
Yep.
metal.
Perfect. Can totally do that.
All right.
However you'd prefer to make that happen. Mhm. Yeah.
I would like to look for some dirt that looks extra fresh and nutrients for the worms.
There's a lot of fresh dirt around here. You go and you find there are some plants growing out from places adjacent to the inn. You go and grab a nice handful out from there and put them in there. Fright crawlers seem to take to it, although you can see little heads kind of poking out and kind of like sort of wiggling around above the dirt, seemingly searching for something.
They might prefer grave dirt or something with a bit more decay to it, considering where they came from.
I think I got some scraps I could throw in here.
Alright.
Just a thought.
It does also bring up a point too. We have one of the tentacles and the 6 paws from the displacer beast They're starting to stink as well.
As well as a hide.
And as well as the hide.
Okay.
I'd go visit a shop.
We might want to do something with those before they go bad.
All right. Can I whip together some sort of like with seawater, like another jar with brine as a preservative? I'm not trying to pickle it necessarily, but
I mean, I think that literally is how you pickle it, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know about well, you could.
There is a
I've
shop.
been prestidigitating it, but it's just cleaning it.
You would know you'd
constantly.
need to probably dry it to really preserve it. Pickling it would theoretically make it last longer, but could also reduce some of the integrity of the materials.
all right. Well, I can at least put them in a jar for now, and I can try and find a way to extend their lifespan.
Perfect. If you need funds for jars, and should we possibly pick up some stuff like that?
Actually, there's quite a bit of sand on the ocean here, so I can actually just make them.
You can make jars here.
There is a store here in town. They might be really interested in purchasing those, and then we wouldn't have to deal with them at all.
That is true. I would actually like to look into maybe a better way of. I'm carrying a lot of things and I don't have a lot of space.
Oh.
Is there maybe, I don't know, I've heard of items that hold a lot of stuff.
It's on its way.
Subtle.
There's a technique I've been playing around with to create an extra dimensional space inside of a leather knapsack, but
That's crazy. I've never heard of such a thing.
Is that something you're close at?
Sounds
No.
pretty
It sounds like it might be a while until you perfect it.
I don't know if I get another infusion anytime soon. It's a thing I can make, but
And we can't ruin that baby buckler. That infusion
God
has to stay.
forbid, God forbid we trade the shield for a bag of holding.
Priorities.
You get another.
For what it's worth, the shield is only a +1.
I
That's
know.
the
You get
only
another
infusion on it.
next
Everything else
yeah, but I
is
can
just
only
pure
have 2
tinkering
active items,
skills.
though.
You can have 3 next level.
Oh, 3? Oh, well, that's not the level I'm taking next, I think.
Oh, well.
Maybe-
Oh, that's true. Actually, you'd probably need a couple levels still.
Maybe
so.
it's as much as I trust your handmanship. Maybe something that we can just purchase or find.
It sounds perfectly mundane. We can probably find one anywhere.
I would,
commonplace
I would hope so.
extra dimensional space, you know.
What kind of bag was it again?
I've heard of haversacks that are like that. I've also heard of just like satchel bags.
What about
Haversack.
knapsacks?
I hardly know her. Anyway.
Either way, it doesn't have to be anything huge.
I can take the pelt to a business and see if they're able to pay for it or turn it into something.
Yeah, I'm kind of weighed down, and I'm not the strongest individual in the group.
Do you have the pelt out, by the way? Do you have these things out, or are you just kind of talking about them?
I have it out currently because
It's sunny
it's
out.
with
Let
my
it
stuff.
dry
Yeah,
as much as
So-
it can.
and I'm
to
airing
hold.
out my bag of worms and other items. So yeah.
So incidentally, this pelt on the ground, as you're kind of holding it, like you're trying to look at it, and it's making you go cross-eyed. It's really hard to focus on any one part of the pelt. As you're looking at it, your eyes keep wanting to like slide sideways, and you're having a very hard time actually like examining this thing in detail.
I wonder if I can make this if we can get it made into a cloak or something.
That's a possibility. I did make a backpack, or I was going to make a backpack. Did I actually make it? Out of the octopus?
I
You
don't think
mostly shove
we
things
haven't
in.
made that yet. You've been working on the outfits for the last couple days, but
I drew a picture. I wasn't sure if I made it or not.
an octopack,
Yeah.
an octopurse.
I know you're quite busy with Hillary's new attire, and I don't want to subtract from that.
Well, I've got. I'm planning to make outfits for everybody, but and there will be pockets actually. So you can see on Hillary's here. You can see. Look, there's. I've got this material, and it holds itself.
I hate that noise. Why do I hate that noise so much?
Sounds like skin being ripped off.
Yeah, but like you don't have to worry about buttons, so you can just open it up and put things in the pocket, and then close it.
You put pockets on a woman's clothes? How dare you?
Functionality? Not in my D&D.
Cargo pockets, even.
Ooh. Be still my beating heart.
We're on a whole new level. I think we just need to make a tailor shop at this point, so.
Actually, can I have Velcro, or is that not allowed? Definitely not Velcro.
I think, isn't it called like hooks and something?
I'm gonna say you can create a patch of binding. It's not exactly Velcro, but you have figured out a way of using bristles that you've acquired from different animals that manage to sort of interlock with other kinds of more curly fur. So it is not exactly as effective as Velcro, but it does sort of tangle together, and you can sort of like pull it apart.
Short lifespan, maybe?
Yeah, it fluffs out a little bit here and there, but it functions roughly the same as Velcro.
All right.
Not quite. It isn't exactly like it isn't nearly as strong as Velcro though. This stuff is more so that kind of like sticks together, but it comes apart just like.
Yeah. So it's enough to hold the pocket flap, but
Yeah.
like if something wanted to get in there, it's not going to have a hard time.
Yeah, no, could if you wanted to try and like keep a mouse in there or something, you could just push its way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fabric reminds me of that bird. What is it? The velvet crow?
Oh my god. Go back to sleep, Alex.
Maybe we can shorten that down a little bit.
That's kind of wordy.
Crowbell.
From off in the distance.
Somebody say crow!
Hell right now.
All right, so you're currently all outside the inn.
I've gone inside.
You've gone inside. Okay, you went inside. Okay.
15 minutes. And the first thing that I do is I go and I go check my stuff.
Okay.
Still there?
Yep.
All right. Doff my armor, don the new armor.
All right.
Come out looking like a hot rod.
It does not. It kind of compresses a little bit there. It's not form fit to the breastises, but you are
Breasticles, please.
breasticles. Thank you. Yes. All right.
My pectoral muscles.
Yeah. So your pectorals are feeling a little squished at this point. But the armor itself is sleek, clearly built for a bigger frame. Probably was one of Larian's old suits. And it wraps around in a very form-fitting manner that you feel it moves well, although it is heavy. So you are about as stealthy as you used to be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I head back up.
All right. Hellray reemerges resplendent in crimson and gold.
I'm gonna have to redye my hair, but fuck me dead if this doesn't look good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, boy.
Gotta admit.
Ellery moved past pectorals and moved straight onto smooch-torals.
I'd have gone a little farther than that.
Ellie. Oh my.
Anyhow.
Looks pretty cool with the greatsword, incidentally. All right.
So, how much time we got? How much time do we have before dinner?
It's like, well, at this point it's probably close to 2. So give it another few hours and it'll be dinner time. Anything you want to do in Quain up to this point? Kaz is still working on the spell scroll. Desmond's also probably going to still be working on that suit for the rest of today. I'll let y'all take a quick break if you need to go shopping, though.
I mean, if there's any party funds or anything we want to sell, I'll gladly pass those along. I think I'll just be working on this for the rest of the day, taking it quite light. I think I'm going to pass on dinner with Larry, the armor guy.
Sure.
He was the table guy last time.
He was the table guy.
I
He's the table guy.
I have some work I would rather be doing, no offense to him and his dinners.
Oh, I mean, I don't care if you offend him. You're sick.
How much time do we have?
Probably about 4 hours.
That should be enough time. I wish to search for this bag you speak of.
Cool.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna look for a graveyard. Anybody want to come along?
What for exactly?
I just need some dirt.
I could use some dirt. I'll come.
All right.
My fear of missing out is growing too strong. I gotta come with you.
I can go shopping.
Okay. Nobody and
I'll tag along with a quick shopping trip. Get
Okay.
some fresh air.
nobody.
very
Edlin
good.
and Kaz are going shopping. Anyone else shopping?
I'll go with the shopping group.
Penny is also shopping.
Before the three of you take off to the graveyard, the ruby, I'm guessing that's okay if we use as bartering for a bag if we find one?
Oh, I'm quite fine with that.
How about this helm of wolf smell?
I'm not
Remember what
attached.
now?
There's a helm, and you said it helps people smell?
Yeah, so if it makes you a little more aware of the aromas that are around you, and some of us are already a little more aware of it anyways, but yeah, it should help
Some
a
of
bit.
us are a little more aromatic than others.
I was actually curious. I wanted to take a look. Does it look, Jesse? Does it look like I could shove herbs and stuff into the nose area of this helmet?
The helmet itself is actually open on the bottom, so it sort of sits over, and there's a a strap that goes underneath the chin. But the actual nose snout piece is kind of this open on the bottom shaped metal that goes out ahead of the mouth there. So the bottom itself is not enclosed.
Would it look like it fits over the top of my mask?
Yeah. It might be kind of a funny fit, but it should.
If you want to use it, use it.
A hound with tentacles coming up.
Yeah, you'd have kind of like, it would look like a beak coming out of the bottom of its mouth, as well as these.
You know,
Now-
I got an idea.
Turducken.
Does your mask
Or
have a
turducken.
Yeah.
If you were to sort of hang some of those herbs and spices that you got in there, could you still give the kind of dangly look?
Well, the main thing is
Hang them on the
actually.
inside of the snoop there?
Oh, I think it would work that way, yeah. But the main thing is that when I'm actually making the potions, I need to make sure that the area is closed off and that the vent holes are very limited so that I don't get fumes in.
All right, I got a little idea. You take the mask you got right now, okay? You take the eye holes with the glass coverings and whatnot.
Yeah.
You take those off. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, it's so bad. You take those off. You basically sort of slice off the bottom half of the mask, and you sew it, or like staple it, or like attach it to the bottom of the dog nose. And then you put little leather flaps where the dog nose is so that you can close it up when you're working on potions. And then you put the goggles on, it's like a little dog wearing goggles.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Kaz, give me that mask.
Here's your helmet.
Okay, if you're going to be a dog wearing goggles, we have to get you a scarf. There's no two ways about that.
I will get him a scarf immediately.
Yay.
That is your
That's
helmet.
how that
Muttley,
looks.
not Snoopy.
All right.
My
Oh,
head.
different one.
Alright, I just wanted to double check.
Snoopy sitting on his doghouse there. Yeah.
Yes, and desperately and Muttley with the dog.
Oh.
It'll help me find the right herbs when I'm searching around in the wilds anyways. But when I'm actually making the potions, maybe I'll just stick with my normal mask.
Perfect.
If you find a use for it, it's yours nonetheless.
All right. Well, we could also see how much it's worth because we could possibly trade it for something a little more valuable.
You can always see.
Oh shit, I wanted to check. We have a diamond, right?
I don't have one in my bag. Do you want me to pick? I thought we bought one.
I thought we did too.
Fixing on proposing?
No.
She already gave me a ring.
No, I need a big diamond for magic.
Oh,
Apparently.
interesting.
Still new to all this shit. Let me see if I got one.
We did get a diamond, yes.
We did? Okay, good. I thought so.
I don't know how many days it was, but I know in real world it was on October the 11th.
Okay.
Apparently I kept that good of notes. I'm rather proud of myself.
There you go.
I'm guessing you have it on you because I don't know how to use it.
I will stick it in my inventory then.
Copy that.
If the bags are too heavy for you, I can lift them.
I would probably appreciate that.
I can
Maybe if you
also
want to
carry-
just carry the hide for right now, that would help me out a lot.
Of course.
I think that could make a really pretty cloak, or actually just like another shirt or something, because it's all.
Well, depending on how much if we find what we're hopefully looking for, if they offer us a good amount for the hide, we might just trade it off just to make it easier.
Yeah. I mean, also,
This pleasure next time.
yeah. I mean, Cadius is like a trained seller of goods and would know probably where he could get the best deal for it.
That is true.
Oh, actually, I could take it and help you find the right deal, maybe.
That is true. Well, we'll hang on to it, and unless someone offers us a large amount of gold, we'll hang on to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Des. I thought you didn't like money.
I don't like money, but I know a lot of merchants.
Oh,
Wow.
are you from Queen?
I'm not from Quine now.
Oh.
No, actually, I grew up just outside of Pyre.
Oh, so we're going home for you.
No.
Oh.
That's where I grew up.
Okay, fair. So, do you know anyone who would want this cloak or the hide?
Is there a, do I know somebody in this area who would be interested in that?
You want to displace her hide?
Yeah, sure.
History check. Give this one proficiency.
Okay. 12 plus 3, 15 plus. What's my history bonus? Ability saves. East, what? 19.
19.
19.
You get the sense that there's probably there are merchants in Quain who would pay for it. However, they tend to be a little more on the supply side of things economically. You'd have better luck finding a buyer in Bara if you were to try and sell it off. Alternatively, you could sell almost anything in Vesic if you felt like going that far. And most likely you could find the best price for it in Vesic. But if you just need to offload it, you could probably find somebody to buy it in Quain for less than you would other places, but still a modicum sum there.
Well, that's what I'll relay. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't recommend selling it here. I think we can get a better price in Pyre or Vesic.
All right, and that's good because like, what if Matcha came into town and then saw someone wearing its mom as a hat or something? Like, that would be terrible, so we should probably get rid of the hide anyway.
I agree to that.
I think if Marcia came into town, she'd have some other issues. But I get your meaning.
Yeah, that'd be a long way for the llamas to go for it to search.
But we'll hang on to it for now nonetheless.
All right, so for the shopping crew, you start to make your way out into the town, looking for specifically a bag of holding at this point, or, okay, cool.
Haversack, bag of holding, any of that kind of stuff.
Maybe
Okay,
a fanny
haversack
pack of holding?
Yeah. And then who was it going shopping again? Was not going shopping.
Those
Gravedirt.
three.
Sorry, okay, grave dirt, and grave dirt. Perfect. All right, we will get to that after a short break, everybody. So, go ahead, we'll be back in 15 minutes, y'all, and we will get along with the shopping episode. Not to mention whatever fun stuff might happen in the graveyard. So, stay tuned.
Totally not skeletons.
All right.
Definitely not a banshee.
Welcome back to the stream, everybody. When we left off, our intrepid group of adventurers were splitting up briefly. Part of them were going out on a shopping expedition, and the other group were heading out to the nearest graveyard to scoop some dirt. So, let's go ahead and start with the shopping group. So the rest, you head on out into Quain, and you're looking for a magic shop of some kind?
Yeah. General store and a magic shop.
Okay.
How hard could it be to find a bag?
Well, they're not really just a normal bag, I should say.
Okay.
Well, just see which of these shops could have it.
I wonder if we made a bag out of the displacer beast hide, if you try to like reach into the bag and you miss the bag because it would move.
That sounds worse than a regular bag.
It'd be real funny though.
Yes, it would be.
I like that.
Just like makes it immediately just manifest outside.
Just try to reach something and you can't, or you try to drop something in it, your coins just fall on the ground.
Yeah.
It's a practical joke.
I just want to get back to the end before.
Uncanny Oddments.
Yes.
Yep. So.
I want to go again.
Okay, you head on over to Uncanny Oddments where you meet with Quill Elendrite. This is a pretty stoutly built place, as most places in Quain are. However, as you approach it, you can smell this sort of like sulfurous aroma coming off of it. Sort of like a brimstone kind of scent, as well as you hear kind of crackling from within inside.
Smells kind
Is
of
he
like
making a
Desmond.
bath?
It's quite a nice shop. I've been here before.
We could probably.
Well, if you've been here, do you know what's in there?
It's quite interesting things. It's an oddment of magical items from what I've seen.
All right, you head on inside. It is a little. It's spacious on the inside. It looks to be from the outside. It looks to be almost 2 stories, but once you're inside, you can see it's just a very tall ceiling from within. And there are rafters kind of going overhead from which are suspended different shelving units. So instead of the shelves actually coming off the ground, they're hanging from the rafters above. And you can see a wide assortment of different items kind of folded carefully onto them. There are books and tomes and scrolls on a lot of the shelves. There are pegboards with interesting looking cloaks, some with different cloaks, and a little bit of kind of long strands of what look to be some kind of magical material hanging from them, as well as a number of potions off to one wall. As you enter, you see a dark elf female approach you. Hello, welcome to Uncanny Oddments. Oh, it is good to see you again.
Yes, it's good to be back. We're actually in the market for some kind of satchel or bag that has more space in it than it would normally. Like
a bag of holding.
Yes, of that kind, yeah.
Well, you're in luck. I do, in fact, have one of these in stock. It's over here behind the counter. So she takes you back towards the far end where there is a low-line counter kind of going across the entire shop. She goes back there, reaches towards an empty space of wall, waves a hand over it, and a bag appears materialized hanging off of a peg on the wall. Nice. She picks it up, takes it off, and puts it on the counter in front of you. A mint condition bag of holding, 1,300 gold pieces.
Do you have one not so mint?
Sorry, no.
Why does it cost so much?
It is a bag that can hold almost as much as you could want. I mean, every Savoyne from here to Dernad is looking for these.
I don't understand.
What is hard to understand about this, my large friend?
Can you demonstrate?
She picks it up and takes her arm, just shoves it all the way up to her shoulder into the bag, and her entire arm just disappears into this thing. There's just kind of this limp brown. It's leather engraved with kind of runes across the strapping of it, but clearly there's a space inside that you cannot see because her entire arm is gone within it. And honestly, this is not the best demonstration. I could put in something. Oh, over here. She goes over and she picks up a large ceramic vase. Okay, let's see. And she kind of tilts it on her side and pushes it, and the entire vase disappears inside the bag. As you can see, it is now gone. Now, I would like you to go ahead and visualize the vase in your mind. And then she opens up the bag to you. Go ahead and reach in there and attempt to pull it out.
I visualize 10 platinum pieces.
Okay. You stick your hand in there. You don't feel anything come to your grasp, unfortunately.
Okay. I visualize the vase.
All right. All at once, cool material manifests underneath your hands. You grip it and you pull it forth.
So people can go in there?
If they would like to suffocate and die, yes.
Oh.
It's more meant
I don't want to do
for
that.
non-living items.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, she went in there, but obviously not her head.
Yeah.
Yes. And it did dry my hand out a little bit.
Oh, I can help with that. I'll give her a cure wounds or a healing word for her dried up knuckles.
That is adorable.
You see like small little cracks on her knuckles seal up. Oh, that does feel better. Thank you.
Of course.
You have a talent, young lady.
Thank you.
I would like to try something.
All right, that's open-ended.
Oh no.
Do you have a light source?
Yes. She, and a ball of light appears in her hand.
Is it possible to take it with me? I would like to put my head inside.
No, you'd suffocate. She just said that. You would die.
Well,
I was born on mountains. I'm familiar with the lack of air.
There's still air on mountains. I've been on mountains too.
Have you been underwater?
Yeah, with keto yesterday.
I can hold my breath for at least, I don't know how long. I
Oh,
should
you're gonna
find out
hold
how
your
long.
breath. But what if it like sucks it out of you?
Then take it off.
Honestly, I'm game. I'm ready to try.
I just want to put my head inside and see what it's like.
She reaches around and she pulls out a small rock and kind of shakes it, and it starts to glow lightly.
Perfect.
She hands it to you. All right. If you'd like to keep that, that's only 25 gold pieces. Very useful in the darker circumstances.
Will it continue to work without you?
Yes. You simply shake it. It lights up. It's not exactly. It's about half of a torch's intensity, but it's enough for some to counteract any really pitch black.
But not the good way.
She picks the bag up.
And keto kind of.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes. He
Is
is
he,
my companion.
You're familiar.
Is that what it's called?
It's his dog.
It's what I call it when I make one.
Yes, familiar.
He's very cute.
He is.
All right then. Here you go.
I take the rock and just put it on my forehead.
Okay. You take a look around. No. That's it's weird in here. You look around and it just seems like it's like you're in this vast canvas room on the inside of it. Taking a look around, you can see the light extends about as far as it can, and you can see there's boundaries to this space that seem folded dark brown material. However, true to promise, you feel a sudden distinct lack of oxygen in there, and you feel your ears pop at the pressure difference. You feel your eyes start to like strain as the suction starts to yank at them.
Flick the rock.
Okay. You see the rock like flies out a little ways and then sort of dissipates out. It actually, it's what the material comprising it actually seems to sort of drift outwards into this gaseous form that sort of dissipates out and fills this room. Its material components being suddenly disintegrated.
Okay,
I think he wants out now.
That was fun.
I tried it once. It was not very comfortable, if I remember.
I threw the rock. I just reach in and think of it.
Yes. Reach in, you think about it.
This is a very good bag.
I like it.
You see why it is 1300. These are not easy to create.
I have 72 gold.
Would you be interested in some trade items as well as coin?
It depends intensely on what kind of items you have to trade.
Well, we have parts of a displacer beast.
Fair enough. That is a useful sort of component. Yes, you could make a cloak of displacement out of this.
Oh, you can make a cloak out of it. Well, we have the hide, a tentacle, and 6 of its paws. What would you put a value of that at?
Well, a completed cloak of displacement is significantly more valuable than the actual bag.
This can sew.
That's true.
But incomplete, I would value these parts at roughly 250 gold
Total or each?
in total.
Oh,
It is a tremendous undertaking actually comprising them together and creating the item in question.
I think if we cleared out party funds and some magical items, we still wouldn't have enough for this.
you know what? I think it's okay. We could wait till when you kind of looks at the lady, not wanting to offend her. I'll just remember I have a friend in Bara who might be able to help us. I gave him 3 manticore paws for free.
Well, I think you've made quite a fighting bag, but unfortunately we just don't have the funds for it at the moment. But we will keep in mind when we do come across that amount of gold that we'll come back here to purchase it.
Absolutely. Keep it in mind. I can't promise it will be here when you return. Again, these items are in very high demand. In fact, Cadius himself was by here recently asking about it, but it was not in his budget either.
Well, I appreciate you showing us nonetheless. We'll take the light rock though.
Light rock, 25 gold pieces for that.
Oh, okay, 25 gold towards that.
Okay.
Have you got anything in a nice...
You go ahead and keep that, nobody.
Thank you.
Of course.
Have you got anything in a nice scarf?
In a nice scarf.
Yes.
You mean, do I have a nice scarf?
Yes.
Yes, I've got several fine pieces. They keep you a little bit warmer than they might otherwise. Good for traveling, especially into the northern reaches of the world. I do have one that is, well, it is a scarf of disguise. It allows you to put it on, and it allows you to change your form to being a completely different person for a temporary period of time.
And what does something like that run?
Oh, God.
Ooh, a scarf of disguise. That is.
Jesse, what have you done?
That one runs 1,800 gold pieces.
Yes. I was afraid of something like that.
That sounds about right.
Actually, I was more looking for something in a cream or something just to augment my armor.
An accent piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you may have more luck looking at a doop-a-dap-a-doop-a-doo.
Oh, I love that place.
Doop-a-da-doop-a-doo.
I was just figuring if I could find something with did a little something extra that might be better than just a plain accent piece.
Go check at the Savvy Savoyne. They have more generic items available for you, as well as many articles of clothing if you're looking to simply get some good apparel.
Yes, I was just thinking if I could find something with a little something extra to it, that might be a little better.
Well, I have an enchanted scarf that keeps you warm. That one only runs 150 gold pieces, and it provides a modicum of protection from cold climates.
Well, actually, I have my own fur coat, and I'm gonna pop down into a ferret and back up.
Oh, wait, are you a druid?
Not exactly.
I did not. Interesting. Where do you come from?
The Queen's Court in the Feywild. I'm not sure whether to believe you or to kick you out.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you have some kind of proof of this?
Pull out my necklace with the seal on it.
Okay. Yes. I have a scarf available. It is a little. Again, it is a simple scarf of warmth, but for someone from the Feywild. Yeah, I can give you 10% off, and if you are willing to put a good word in for me.
Certainly.
All right. That will be 135 gold pieces to you.
And I will hand over 135 gold pieces.
Okay, she gives you a scarf. At its touch, you feel like this kind of prickling sensation, this intense warmth beginning to pulse out of it. As you wrap it around your neck, it's instantly luxurious. It's a knit scarf. Actually, you recognize the material as llama fur, or llama wool. So
Make a ring?
Yes, and it is cream colored.
it is cream colored.
That'll set off the gray armor so nicely.
So, you now have a scarf of warmth in cold environments. You no longer, unless it's a very cold environment, you get cold and get chilled only half as quickly.
Okay.
Is anybody else interested in anything? I think we need to go work and get more gold.
All right, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Anything else I can help you with?
No, it's always a pleasure to see you, and hopefully we'll Come back here again soon.
And you as well. It was an absolute pleasure.
It is a very nice bag.
It is a very nice bag. And she picks it up and she lifts it towards the wall behind her, where it just vanishes.
Let's go.
We get about probably like 30 feet out of the building, and then I go, oh, I left my bag. I'll be right back. Run in real quick. And just real quickly look for whatever the most fanciful like picture book of like fantasyness is, and go, how much is this?
You take a look around, perusing through. They're mostly arcane tomes.
Are any of the tomes have pictures?
Yes. Yes, you do find it's a newer looking tome, bound in leather, and as you begin to flip it open and look through it, you see lots of very colorful, kind of illuminated manuscript style images across the page. The actual artwork is vinous and actually flows slightly across the pages there. Looks to be a book on the flora and fauna of the mist coil. Okay, you bring it up to her. Oh yes,
Practical.
that one runs 50 gold pieces.
Oh, okay, never mind. And run away.
Okay, magic shops are a good place for me to take your money. Okay, so you give the book back and run away.
Yeah.
Perfect. You reemerge swiftly,
Got it.
and we are going to pan the camera over to the graveyard group.
So what does exactly you need that dirt for anyway?
Well, it's like this. I don't know.
Fair.
I just get I get feelings that I need something, and then I get it, and then later I need to do a thing, and I realize that I need one of the things that I got.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's a magic thing. You might know. Yeah, you might know better than I do, but I know we get it from different places.
Yeah, but I think that there's some basic principles that are observed from both sides. So, for instance, you can't just get something out of nothing usually. So there's some sort of resource related to any sort of magical energy.
Right.
And whatever it is that he needs this dirt for, I suppose it'll make sense when he knows exactly what the dirt does.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. From what I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't work for. It doesn't work that way for you, right?
What, dirt?
No, I mean like. I don't know, but I mean like when you need something for your spells and whatnot, you know why.
Most of the time, yeah. I've actually done a lot of studying on the different properties of certain materials, and even moreover, I think that kind of the nature of the magic I've come to understand actually stems more from things that are a little more mundane usually. So dirt's kind of right up my alley.
Right. Yeah. Where did it come from for you? How did you start doing all this?
Well, I was trying to impress a girl, but it just went too far.
Really?
Story.
Well, like I understand. I understand that
Civilization right
completely.
there.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Wow, I'm feeling very connected to you right now.
I'm listening. I have 2 ears.
Yeah, she didn't know who I was. I just thought she was pretty.
Sure.
So, we never actually met. But
Oh.
I thought, well, she was very interested in somebody else who was doing some tricks that I saw at a get together, and well, I thought maybe if I could do the same kind of tricks, I could actually talk to her. But Well, I tried to figure out how to make light in my hands, but I ended up just lighting things on fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do that in a public place.
No, sure. Huh.
So most of the time I try to figure out how to do something, I end up learning how to do something else. So as long as I keep track of it all, I learn how to do quite a bit.
Just maybe not what you were expecting each time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Did it work?
What?
With the girl?
Oh, no, I still haven't talked to her.
That's quite a shame.
Yeah.
Is that back in Bara?
No. No, she's in Carrick.
Carrie.
I think you should go talk to her at some point. I don't know when our travels bring us around that way, but hey,
I don't think she'd like to see me, actually.
she hasn't met you.
But she would recognize me, I think.
Oh, you made an impression.
You don't have to say anything you don't want to, but what happened?
She thinks I killed someone.
And again, answer's voluntary, but did you?
I let someone die. It wasn't really my fault.
Yeah, I've been there.
So, I'm not really sure how to answer that. Maybe I can, I don't know. I don't really know how to tell them that either.
Sure.
Not really sure what to do with it.
That's a toughie.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Would you want to go back if you could?
You know, I'm not quite sure. Certainly not right now. I think that the best thing for me would just be, well, I think I mentioned to at least nobody before that, you know, a lot of the people here were the people I've interacted with lately, all of you folks. You're about the first people that hasn't tried to kill me in some time that I've interacted with. So I'm pretty content just hanging around that for a while.
Sure.
Before I go and seek anything else out. So.
Well, you ever decide you want to go back? Want a little extra muscle? You know, keep you safe. Happy to do that for you.
Same here, by the way.
All right. Well, the people of Carrick are quite robust on their own, and they would be a tough match for sure. But I'll keep that in mind.
I'm familiar with the tag. I came up on the Dormer range, so I'm familiar with a lot of tall, strong folk, both savory and unsavory. So.
Well, yeah, I've actually never even spoke to her.
Wow.
I didn't really know what to say.
Whatever happened with that person? Is that how you got your scars?
No, actually, I did those myself mostly. I didn't feel right testing chemicals on animals that I caught all the time, so I tried them on myself.
Well, that's commendable.
As an aside, sorry.
I wouldn't do that shit, but that's commendable. That's great.
I thought I knew how to heal myself. I didn't necessarily know how to heal an animal, though.
Sure.
Different practices, that's for sure.
Yeah. Huh. And so, what? I know you and nobody was together when we all got together in Sith, but sounds like that was like a new thing, and you had a whole history before that. Is that right?
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time as a traveling merchant, which
Savoyn?
kind of like that. Not entirely dedicated to the guild.
Huh.
It's a guild.
Not really. It's more like the Roma. It is it's like a loose-knit lifestyle. Well, in this case, Roma is even more of like a specific culture, but the Savoyans are largely an earned title that you get simply from being a merchant and spending most of your time around other folks on the road. And eventually you just end up in this lifestyle. Some Savoyans settle down and stay in one place for a while, but being a Savoyan is more about the itch to travel and more about the desire to move from place to place and see what Anor has to offer.
So yeah, I guess I could call myself a Savoyan, in a sense at least. Maybe not as I mean, my ancestors did stay put for the most part, but we eventually did kind of move around a bit, just traveling, selling things, and it's been some time since I actually acted like a Savoyan, really, but we kind of, there was a period of time where I couldn't really interact with the Savoyans on a certain level because there were some moral questions about some of the business practices that my brother was involved in.
Sure.
Some of the Savoyans weren't too keen on it.
Huh.
Others were quite happy with it.
Not all those dealings were above board, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yep. Familiar with that type as well.
Well, hey, listen. I never mean to make you uncomfortable asking about stuff. So you just never let me know if I ever, pressed a little too far.
Well, you got naked right in front of me, and I've never seen a naked woman before, but you seemed pretty comfortable with it, so I didn't say anything at the time. But
Yeah. So you're saying don't do that again in the future?
well, I didn't really know what to do, but I guess I did because I was just taking measurements, so I just got to business.
My mistake. Yeah, I should have probably given a heads up. Place I come from before all this started, it wasn't much of a thing. So but different cultures and whatnot. So I'll keep that in mind.
Well, I actually kind of like the openness. In a sense, I kind of wanted to talk to you a little more about. I'll mention that I never talked to that girl, but I think your openness might help me figure out how.
Well, yeah. Anytime you want to chat, you know where to find me. Most times.
And likewise, Sarah, I haven't said a whole lot to you yet either, but I feel like we've got quite a bit to share as a group. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The hell was that?
Roll for initiative, guys.
Okay. I mean, like I said, from the Dormer Range myself, so spent a lot of time up there growing up and such. Still got some family out that way. Wouldn't mind going back and visiting at some point. It's a little tricky. Some folks out that way wouldn't be so happy to see me. Others would be, so.
Well, just like you offered to help me out with heading back there myself, I'm more than willing to head out that way and be alongside to help with whatever I can.
Alright. Well, I've not got any particular itch to go back immediately, but we find ourselves that way. That's very much appreciated.
We should do that, and then I should take you guys to my home, which is not where I came from before I ran into you.
Really?
I live a little northeast here in Avonlock, and if we ever swing up that way, boy, I can't wait to introduce the whole team to my folks. They just would, oh man, they'd be tickled as shit to meet all y'all.
Actually spent a little time in Avonlock.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Mostly Dortsham, but yeah.
That's a description I never would have applied to shit.
Oh yeah, well, I know you're not very experienced, so trust me, one day we'll talk about that if you want to.
Yeah, well, for as much as I've seen, I haven't actually seen a lot, I guess. It's kind of a weird situation.
Funny thing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hey, thanks for chatting. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm more than willing to expand on any of those concepts next time. If you want some more information, I'm definitely happy to share. I just don't actually know what to tell you.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, we'll let it ruminate and we'll talk later.
Sounds good.
All right.
We grave robbing or what?
No.
Let's robbing.
It's like stealing, but, well, it's like stealing.
Yeah.
There's no but there. All right. Doesn't take you long, and you find directions to the nearest graveyard, and you make your way over there. I want to go back to the other group here and see if there's any other stops you'd like to make on your shopping expedition, or if there's anything in particular you wanted to talk about here. You're still kind of outside of the magic shop, Uncanny Oddments. Penny just rejoined all of you, looking a little bit, da-da-da.
Well, now that you have your bag, I was just going to go back and continue working on my scroll. I don't really need much else, and obviously we're too broke for the thing I really wanted, so...
Yeah. I might look around just to see if there are any other fun shops. I said to you earlier, I really haven't spent a whole lot of time in towns, and this one's at least small enough that it's not terrifying, so...
Do you need company or funds or anything?
I mean, I'm not looking for anything expensive. I'm just more like, what is that word? It's like when you just kind of shop to look at something. Look and shop?
Window shop.
Window shop. Well, I'm not buying a window.
No,
It's not that.
It'd be awfully hard to carry.
You're shopping through the windows and not actually buying anything in the
Oh,
stores.
but I like touching it too, so maybe I'll touch and shop.
Okay.
I think if you do that...
I like to shop.
All right.
Well, if there's any funds you need, just let me know. I'll be able to help. Other than that, I'll be at the end.
Okay. What do you think, nobody?
I will return with Cass.
All right.
Well, if there's anything you need, just let us know.
Okay.
Be safe.
Certainly. So is there anything particular you were looking for?
I want to find a picture book for Cass.
Okay. Let us find a Scrivener's.
All right. Yeah, I tried looking at the magic shop, and they just had things about like nature, which is great, but it seemed way too practical. I think I just wanted like a storybook.
Ah. So I'm going to look for a Scrivener's or a bindery or a bookshop.
Okay. You. Second. It doesn't take you very long. Again, Quain is not a super big town, and anybody that you're passing along the way can easily give you directions. And you are told to go to the Unbroken Spine, which is a bookshop towards the northern edge of town. Making your way over there, it is very similar to most of the other buildings and structures in Quain, stoutly built, practical. However, there are sort of broad windows out towards the front with looks to be very thick glass built into the frames. Within you can see rows and rows of bookshelves going down. And as you enter into it, immediately you are greeted with this very musty scent from within. The shelves are very closely knit together. You look around, it's almost a little claustrophobic how close all of the shelves are. But there is an almost cozy sort of nook vibe to it. And
Bookshops. I love bookshops.
Mm-hmm. You kind of wander between these shelves, not really seeing any other people immediately present. But lots and lots of musty old tomes, everything from old books to newer prints that look like they were created fairly recently and bound up in some kind of, bound up in what looks to be linen sleeves.
Does there look to be a children's section?
I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check.
I, meanwhile, will be looking for the shopkeeper.
Okay. This one is not super hard to do, especially with your ferret smell. You can immediately kind of drop down. So I guess a perception check at advantage real quick.
It's a perception.
Ooh, wow. Oh boy. Ooh.
It's a bonus though, you might be alright.
No, I'm not going to be all right.
A 17.
A 17. Okay, sounds good.
She found it, I didn't. I got an 8.
So you shift into ferret form momentarily to try and get a smell to sniff and find the shopkeep. As you take a big inhale, like just this cloud of old book smell and must just kind of like invades your sinus, and you're like,
Oh, right back into Edmund.
okay, little ferret sneezes and you shift back into Edlin, still with this terrible case of allergy suddenly. Penny, you kind of just wandering around through the shop, you you kind of just instinctively go towards one of the back corners, wandering between the different aisles of books, and eventually you find one sort of cubby back here where there's a small little table and a couple of small chairs. Look to be too small for an adult, though.
This must be the gnome section.
Incidentally, there's an even smaller set of chairs.
Smaller bookshelf.
Baby gnomes.
Little baby gnome section.
Looks like nobody's been here for a while.
Immediately you can see that the books back here are a little bit more, they're slim, look to be bound in, more of a compressed paper, not super old tomes or anything, though there are a few more large volumes with, looks to be these almost like slates inside at various points.
Wait, so you said that there are some larger ones, so almost like a book of Grimm's Tales if it were here. I picked that up and I flipped through to see if there's pictures.
So this one is a catalog of the Rosewell family's achievements. Okay. Okay. Don't want it. All right.
I just see the name of that gal wrote it and she sounds like, oh, nope.
Okay. You go on around to the next one, the next larger one, you pull this one out. This is more of a general anthology of legends of Avonlock. It goes all the way back through several sovereigns. As you flip through it, it's full of pictures, very big words, easy to read, dictating everything from adventures and quests into the Crandar forests, where they were looking for golden apples or ancient artifacts or ruins. There's a tale of the search for the fountain of aging, which was a little bit of it. Yeah, that was a bit of an eccentric tale there, but the goal was to find it and capture its waters so that they could actually finally let this ancient god die. It was a very sort of a sad tale about a paladin on this quest for this deity. But they're full of beautiful old stories, full of beautiful old pictures, and incidentally it also has one of these slates in here, which once you turn to it, the slate itself is a frame of ivory. Inside is a carved wooden panel with this relief kind of carved into it of adventurers, a small party of adventurers with their horse walking out and overlooking this valley with a waterfall coming down and pouring through the center of it. Dark wood, smells old and vaguely sad in a strange sort of way, but very whimsical. And it goes on like that. There are other tales and legends within this, stories of dragons, expeditions into the Mist Coil, all very childishly written, though with a certain sense of, timelessness about it.
Mm-hmm.
You found your Grimm's Brothers.
I did. Oh my gosh, I want to read it for myself, but I'm gonna give it to Carols and then maybe borrow it.
Okay.
So,
Edlin, you are able to find Penny again. You weren't really letting her get too far out of your sight, and you kind of emerge into the children's section as well. Anything else you're looking to find while you're here?
No, I was just going to help her find her book. I already have my scarf.
Okay. You hear the footsteps of someone approaching. Very soft footsteps. And a figure rounds the corner, stooped low, a long, scaly muzzle kind of coming down, these old yellowing fangs coming down over the bottom lip. Looks up.
Hello, how are you doing today?
hi
You
there.
can see a lizard folk woman appears. Very old, kind of withered, graying scales, kind of actually going a little bit more of this like tan color as it goes like from her muzzle and moves more towards a deep green towards the back, where she has a hood kind of dropped down around her shoulders and a shawl pulled tight around of knit different colors kind of around.
Oh, is there anything I can help you find?
I think I found it.
Oh, that is a beautiful book.
It is gorgeous. I would love to purchase this if I have enough money. How much is this?
Oh, that one runs 20 gold pieces, my dear. It is an older one. Very honestly, you won't find many of those around anymore.
Oh, that's wonderful. I would definitely love that.
All right, 20 gold pieces for that one. Is there anything else that you'd like to find while you're here?
Do you think Des needs any books on sewing? I think he's doing a really good job from what I've seen so far.
I believe so. Do you have anything on garment making?
On garment making, oh, absolutely. We have an entire tailoring section if you're so inclined.
Is he making outfits or armor, or I'm not quite sure what he's doing.
I think they'd be classified as uniforms.
Uniforms. Something on...
Well, nothing in particular on uniforms, but the books I have are rather general purpose. You can learn to create most types of patterns you might be looking for from them.
Shall we take a look?
Yeah, or maybe we just maybe we go back and then let him know. How late are you open?
Oh, we'll be open until sunset.
Okay. I mean, how long can it take to really do the task he's doing right now?
Well, there is that.
So
certainly.
wait, we'll just let him know it's here. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for.
All right. Well,
Is there a flower shop in town?
no flower shop, unfortunately. They don't tend to grow very well out here. Perhaps during certain seasons, but nothing consistent enough to make it worth it. Go out towards, if you can ever make it to the eastern side of the Dormer Range, you can find all manner of flowers there.
I was just going to get a few to brighten up the table for dinner this evening.
Oh.
Ooh, well, I have some crystals, if you're inclined. They come in all manner of colors. I have large pink ones, some lovely quartz crystals. There's a small case I can show you if you're interested.
Have we time?
Sure. And I'm so sorry. I did not ask your name.
You got it at the beginning. But you didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Bridget didn't get it if you said it.
I don't think I said it.
No, you said lizard folk lady.
Said lizard folk lady, yeah.
Okay.
My name is Zelfar.
Zelfor.
It is,
Very nice to meet you, Zelfar.
What does that sell for?
what? I take
Perfect
offense to
merchant
that.
name.
All right, well, I cast wish and kill you.
My
You're
name
such
is
a sweet lady until that.
Yeah.
my name is Edmund. This is my companion, Lynn.
Edlin and Penny Lynn. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you both.
Pleasure to meet you too.
And if you are looking for any other manuscripts, do not hesitate to come back. I take great pride in the selection here, and I'm always getting new and exciting tomes in. So,
We shall definitely tell our friend who's working on the sewing.
all right.
And you did mention the crystals. Shall we have a look at those?
Yes, please.
All right.
So she takes you over towards the crystals. I do want to pan the camera over to Nobody and Kaz, though. As you guys are heading back to the inn, you said? Heading back to the inn? Cool. You make it back there, no problem. It's now currently getting into, it's pretty well empty at this point. In the common room, there's one or two folks kind of like looking to have taken a break from their work and have grabbed a quick drink in the interim and are just kind of sitting back, relaxing. But it's pretty quiet in here at this point.
It really was a nice bag.
It really is. And it'd be nice to have, quite helpful for us, but maybe not quite yet. A little far thinking. But, we know where one's at anyhow.
Your work in that fight.
Oh, against the cat or the giant hill?
Both, I believe.
Yes.
You were strong.
that. I was the furthest person away from it.
But from that position, with the advantages you hold, you were strong.
I guess. I'm not like you or Cyrus or Helry.
Strength is not muscles.
Yeah.
You can be strong in the mind.
Not everybody feels that way. Sometimes nobody, but I greatly appreciate that.
And then they were fools. And you shall crush them.
I don't know about that, but it's a nice dream.
Soon.
So,
All right. You both grab a drink and settle in for afternoon hanging out before the dinner this evening. And we'll go ahead and zip over to the graveyard crew. So you've made your way out to the Quain graveyard. It is slightly outside of the town, a little ways down south of the town. And you can see there's no tall gravestones here. Everything that has been built more than a couple feet off the ground has been worn smooth and eroded down over the years from the constant sea winds. However, there are plaques low down on the ground here that seem to mark different generations of people in Quain and different family names and whatnot. And it's got a sort of peaceful atmosphere here. It's not threatening in any way, and especially with the warm light of the sun kind of starting to come down towards the east, you feel a certain sense of solemnity to the space.
Well, if we're getting that fancy new bag, we should probably bring back as much dirt as we can carry.
Probably not a bad idea. Probably load up on dirt.
I bet between the both of you, you can carry a lot of dirt.
I can carry so much fucking dirt.
Honestly, yeah, between the two of us, if we had some way of carrying it between us, we could carry, I'd say, a couple 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, yes, actually.
Well, if you guys want to start digging up some dirt, I can build some sort of trolley that we can use to hold all this.
Where do y'all think I should start digging?
Well,
Like where the stones are, yeah?
Probably not.
Does it have to be?
I'm just fucking with you. I know what a graveyard is.
Does it have to be consecrated ground, or what's the deal?
No. Just dirt anywhere in a graveyard.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to take that much. I don't need very much.
I'm just gonna scoop up a handful, put it in a little pouch, hang it on my belt.
Okay.
That's all I need.
I set down a slightly larger handful and pat it back down.
Very considerate. You needed dirt?
Actually, I'm not quite sure what I'd use it for now, but sure. I'll grab some glass, start shoveling up some dirt,
Okay. As you're pulling out bottles, you accidentally pull out the one with the fright crawlers in it. You can see them starting to kind of writhe around and start to reach and push against the glass down towards the ground here.
Hey now.
Well, that's quite curious, isn't it?
They seem to be in a good mood.
I'm gonna take a look around. Shit. Do I have? Fuck, I don't have anything. I'm gonna take the feather and I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna say, "This is another one of your spots."
You feel sort of a cold breeze just waft past.
Waft. I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna see if anything feels the same way that the mound felt. That sort of influence coming in from anywhere else.
Roll an insight check.
Okay, I'm good at that. Guidance.
Depending on how long this takes, I will start channeling a ritual cast of detect magic.
Okay, cool. You kind of sit down and begin to channel that.
16?
16. Definitely gives you the same. Well, it doesn't have the evil vibes that the grave mound did. It has still this sort of sense of souls. This is as every graveyard is, sort of a point where souls have crossed over, a place where the line between the living and the dead is a little bit more thin. You don't get a bad sense from it. It's just the same sense as a graveyard often gives off, and it's sort of why grave dirt itself is important, because grave dirt represents this sort of slightly more permeable membrane between this world and the next.
Sure.
Channeling detect magic, you take a look around, and there is no real spell effect active, nothing in particular pinging in the ground or what have you. Well, actually, there is beneath 2 of the headstones pings of magic. Looks to be protective spells, mostly abjuration magic.
Okay.
Didn't work.
No, okay.
Does it look like it's the whole grave or just a part of it?
Like an item within the grave. Looks like it's pinging.
All right.
No.
I will say nothing.
Hey, Dad, do you mind if I see them little critters real quick?
No, not at all, actually. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet.
I'll get a look at them. Do they look like they're going in any particular direction? Like if I move it this way, are they looking one way? And if I pull them that way, are they looking that way? Or like...
They look like they're trying to get down towards the soil.
I think they like the rotting flesh that's underneath us.
Can't say as I'm surprised. Creepy little things.
Sure. Not quite sure what I'll do with them, like I said, but I think I'll figure out something.
Well, you want to take a little bit of dirt for them? Seems to be what they're after.
So, yeah, let's scoop up a bit of dirt and put it in the jar with them.
As soon as that dirt goes in the jar, they just start wriggling around, like rolling around in it and getting these kind of like undulating.
Don't like any of that.
But they seem to really, really like the dirt.
Shit's weird.
If I worked the size I am now, they'd be quite terrifying.
If they were, one might say, giant purple worms, then that would be a problem.
I'm sure those don't happen.
But that's ridiculous.
All right, and I've done like a lap around the graveyard, I guess.
Yep. Seems to be a standard graveyard.
All right.
Oh, shoot, I had some. I gotta try and remember what I was gonna say. There was something up there. I'll come back to it if I remember.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to say I told you so because I'm not there.
There is incidentally a section for the Rose Wells, which is more of a monolith off towards one end of it. Again, not a really tall structure, but more of this large raised rectangular structure. It seems to be almost like a mausoleum. On the top there is a metal hatch over it that is currently barred shut.
I could go get a closer look at that.
Just gonna go walk around that real quick.
Incidentally, from the detect magic, you would also see there is some protective magic on the mausoleum itself, on the door.
Are there any names like on the door of the mausoleum?
You can see the Rosewell crest emblazoned into the metal.
From the looks of it, you might not want to touch it. There is some sort of protective magic on it.
Well,
It might
sure,
just let
right.
somebody know, or it might blow your head off. Not sure.
Sure, I ain't no grave robber.
Yeah, makes a certain amount of sense, and more curious about who might be interred here.
What if it's not a Rosewell? What if it's someone else, and the Rosewells just took the place of someone else?
Well, Rosewell by any other name would smell sweet.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow! This man
Fire
today.
day, brother. You're killing it.
Jeez.
I hope to confirm that at some point soon.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The smell.
It was such a good
all right.
pun on my
Never
brain. If I had a weapon like a spear, I'd shake it.
That's holy cow, that was a dig.
Ooh, Nelly. Okay.
Wow.
Anything else at the graveyard, folks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get anything else like checking out the mausoleum, looking around it, nothing like that.
I mean, it's a graveyard. It's the general graveyard of Quain, and it is looks to be well tended to, and nothing like what you encountered out in the woods there, where it was, a location where death had been allowed to fester.
Sure. All right.
This place, it's very well respected, sacred ground, and not a place.
Hallowed.
Yeah, yeah.
Head back.
Sounds good to me. I don't think we have enough dirt, but, you know, it'll have to do.
And I don't want to take more time with this, but if there is a place that I can pick up 25 gold of powdered silver, like at Uncanny Oddments, then I will do that.
Yep, you can swing by there and pick up 25 gold pieces worth of silver, powdered silver. Okay, you go ahead and add that to your inventory. Back over at the bookshop, you are guided over to a glass case filled with different crystals. There are all manner of different kind of geometric shapes and formations, clusters of crystals, geodes that have been cracked open to reveal these kind of deep purple and blue crystals within them. There are a few that have been carved into different shapes, prowling cats, bears. Looks to be a couple of slightly more, that's what I'm looking for here, nondescript creatures, like manticores, things like that, with like the wrong sorts of limbs going on there, but clearly of kind of magical origin. There's even a few crystalline dragon statues in there. But all manner of just colorful, more standard crystals and clusters as well.
Yes, so this is our crystal collection. We've been acquiring it for some time. I just, they just strike my fancy, so I figured why not accumulate them.
They're pretty.
Thank you.
Yes, very. Have you something that looks particularly well by candlelight?
I would recommend this one. And she reaches in and she pulls out a perfect cube crystal that's of this sort of deep orange color with these sort of layers in it. The very bottom is a rather opaque orange, but as it goes up, it becomes progressively more translucent until the very top you can actually see all the way through from one side to the other, this deep orange crystal.
This is one I'm very fond of, and as you can see,
And she kind of, and there's a little flame on the flickering on the tip of her thumb, and she puts it behind, and it just glows, this kind of strident color that moves through the layers of crystal. Each layer is sort of refracting it in a slightly different way, so the crystal itself almost looks to be on fire.
Dang.
That's beautiful.
How much is that?
oh, this one I can let go for 10 gold pieces.
I'll take it.
All right.
She hands it across to you and accepts the gold.
I'm going to get Desmond to put a light in it for me.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That?
Yeah, Evelyn! Crystals!
Is there anything else I can get for you?
You good night rest or something? What the hell?
I think I'm good. I think maybe.
I think that's everything we need. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Wonderful. Well, it was a pleasure to meet both of you, Edlin and Penny Lynn. And next time you're in Quain, don't hesitate to come by again.
All right.
And she sort of nods her head to you and sort of fades back into the stacks there.
All right. Well, shall we go back to the inn?
Let us go.
All right.
Okay, you head back to the inn.
I try to make sure. Oh, Evelyn, I'm just don't tell Cass. I'm gonna surprise him.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So all of you have eventually made your way back to the inn at this point. You reconvene. It's probably around 4:30 by now. And you all connect back up in the common room here. Kaz is back to work on his spell scroll. Desmond is also kind of hard at work on the uniform that you're constructing for Helry. But I'm assuming everybody's kind of like out and about in the common room just socializing with it, or are there folks hanging out in their rooms instead doing this?
No, I'm doing common room, probably at a table.
Nobody is finishing up a loud conversation with Kaz.
And so, I refrained from insulting his feast to make him feel as though he was powerful. And then I told him straight to his face, if we get this pearl, it will be ours.
Oh, yeah, that's quite funny. Wait, you said this to Larry?
Yes.
Oh, it is a good story. I'm quite proud of you on that. Oh, well, everybody's here.
Kaz, we have so much stuff to put in the bag.
Oh, this is just an auspicious day all around. I can't afford the bag.
Do you want dirt? I've got extra.
I'm okay on dirt. I have more in my bag from the mountain that almost killed us. How much dirt bag? Sorry, Larry, Pearl.
How much was the bag anyway?
It was 1,300 gold pieces.
Holy shit!
That's got a couple zeros on
It
it.
was a very nice bag.
It was a very nice bag.
And unfortunately, we don't even have 500 gold pieces worth in party funds.
Well, let's see. I got a couple hundred gold just shy there.
I used to have.
We might have to just wait until we finish this next adventure of ours.
Nah. Yeah, if you want me to carry the bag, you don't want you getting like big old marks on your shoulders from that.
Well, I mean, at this point, just the hide and the tentacle and the paws are kind of heavy.
Yeah, I can carry for a while.
As long as
Yeah.
you keep track of things, we can simply carry them.
And if you want to split it up, I can take half. I'm already used to the lower back pain. I can take a little bit more.
Well, I don't want to hurt you more.
Oh, do you need healing?
No, no.
Oh, you mean because of strength?
I don't think she gets it from carrying things.
At least not well, hey.
Ain't no healing for this.
Okay, well, maybe something that doesn't heal but just takes away the pain. I have these pain meds. I got some pills.
And I've got this to wash it down.
I remember this. I'm fine, thank you very much.
I mean, they're legitimate. They're from a doctor's.
I'm all right.
Okay.
I appreciate the help.
I can actually reinforce your outfit with some extra strength in the
Well,
core.
back support.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to that. Yeah, sure.
I'll do up a couple designs to see if I can make them work.
That would be much appreciated.
Is the strange that you're looking for heavy?
No. Very small.
Oh,
Very small.
So it must be hard to
Soft.
find.
it must be.
No.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
I've heard this joke before. No. Who's ready for dinner?
I think I'm gonna finish up my scrolls for the evening. I don't think I'll join you on this one, unfortunately.
You want us to bring you back leftover box?
Sure.
All right,
They have
sure.
good food, I will say that.
Yes, they do. And a lot of it, and for free.
Yeah. Do you want some help with scrolls? I could. I'd be interested to see the process.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I always enjoy the company. Nobody was chatting my ear off, so I can always have another person to talk to.
Well, I mentioned these guys that I've actually only kind of pretended to know magic, really. So I'd like to see the actual process from the other side. I don't know how thorough it is, but I'd like to at least see it.
You've made bonfires. I've seen this.
Yeah, I was trying to make dancing lights.
Oh,
So you did it better.
We're
more
better than
efficiently.
some things.
Well, to be fair, I don't know either trick, so it's still pretty good nonetheless.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll take a to-go box, and let me take a look at the scrolls with you.
Yeah, I'll show you what I know. It's not much, but
I'll be happy to see.
yeah.
I just realized we have 2 campaigns with 2 bottles of disparate critters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
a
like
bottle
to-
of ants and a bottle of worms.
This is a Jesse theme.
What can I say? I do good food and bottles of living things.
I wish that I just
Yeah, you do.
So you're staying at the inn as well.
I
Are
think
you
I
coming?
could stay at the end as
Yes.
well.
You?
Yeah, we're.
You don't have to.
I don't want to.
I know you don't want to.
But,
That's
but
totally
you know,
fine.
but if you see Zuga, just tell her hi, and she makes real good food, and it's nothing against her
Okay,
because
sure.
she's delightful.
Absolutely.
Kinda, she doesn't.
She was not delightful, but I get what you're saying.
But she did make me a real nice sandwich, and she didn't have to, so that was very nice.
Sure, yeah. No, I don't blame you. It's just, last 8 years of my life I've been taking advantage of assholes with more money and power than me. So I'm just playing the type.
Asshole.
That is quite strange.
Did you hit it?
Sorry, what did you say?
Get it out now. We've got 2 weeks ahead of us, so let's make it happen.
Taking advantage of assholes.
Oh yes, okay.
Just wait till he takes the direct and say it again.
The evening wears on, and it's dinner time. So, those of you who are going to dinner, raise their hands here at Larian's.
I think it's the big crew.
Okay, the big crew. Saras, are you going as well? Okay. Once you're done losing your shit. Yeah. Okay, so Saras, Helry, and Nobody are all heading over to the Rosewall Manor.
Before we go, I'm gonna check my axe one more time, and then I'm gonna take a couple of blankets from my bed, and I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna put it under my bed, and then I'm gonna take my pack and shove it in front of the axe.
Okay, sounds good. So you get yourself you get things kind of secured away there in your room, and head on around to the Rosewall Manor. Same process, you get to the palisade, head into the manor itself, and as you enter, you can already smell this incredible aroma pouring out of the kitchen. You can hear...
Now don't spill that. What are you doing? Hey. No, treat those gentle, okay? You massage it. You don't beat it up. What are you doing? That's what happens later tonight, all right, with you in your room. Anyway, so we got the,
So, you hear him you hear her back there shouting at her people. Larian is already sort of sitting in his chair at the head of the table, pointedly not listening or trying to avoid listening to Zuga. However, when you enter... welcome! We have, I had the cooks put together something special for you this evening. Where are the rest of your friends?
They couldn't make it. We got a whole lot of errands and such to take care of before we set out on the caravan tomorrow, so, some of them are magic folk, and they gotta be digging through books and everything like that. They all sent their highest apologies and warmest regards. We really have appreciated your hospitality here.
Oh,
Yes,
and I did
well-
do Eagle Splendor before we got there.
Okay. Well, I have to say, that's disappointing. I had them put together... We did some experimentation with the pastries and seafood combination. I must say, it actually works pretty well. It's just a shame your friend didn't make it.
They did ask to confer our regards and, if possible, to bring back some food for them.
If that's all right.
Well, Zuga won't be happy about that. I'll put in a request. But anyway, for now, please find a seat for yourselves, and we will get on with the meal. I've got to say, I'm famished. It's been all of an hour and a half since the last meal finished.
Sure.
Almost an hour now.
Almost an hour.
I could have had more eggs.
You find a seat around the table. You see that Saphira is present at this one. She has seated herself sort of to Larian's left along this long table here. There are a couple of other folks of the household that have also taken seats, some looking very prim and proper down there, look to be staff of the manor who are further down the table, but they've been invited to come eat. So there are plates set out along the hallway, and one by one dishes begin to come out. So first of all, a healthy number of loaves and baskets appear before all of you, smelling of what looks to be some kind of sourdough. Dark, good bread mixed with this pale, very fluffy, fragrant sourdough. All up and down, along with herbed butters and honey butters at various points. You see a number of salads come out after as well. Larian, upon seeing the salads, and Saphira looks over at him, pointing her dagger. You'll eat them this time.
I like her more.
All right, yes. He grabs a big old loaf of bread and takes a scoop of salad that looks, after he kind of like scoops it through, it's all of like 3 leaves that end up on his plate. Saphira shoots him a glance. Like spears a radish, puts it on there as well. Where's the meat? Where's the meat?
When I see Saphira, I'll give her a nod and say,
My lady,
Oh no. Oh no.
She nods. She nods her head to you.
We're doing Milady, huh?
Oof. Tips fedora.
Sorry, man.
You
I couldn't be happier.
from the kitchen, Larry. Where's the meat?
All right, keep your codpiece on. 1 second.
There's a rustle of dishes and clanging, and you see an entire 2 large roast bass come out on wide platters set onto a bed of more greens, looks to be watercress, placed at various points around with apple slices kind of next to it that look to have been grilled. And then one more dish comes out, and you have to do a double take here because it's this large, spiny abomination that's sitting on a huge platter carried by at least 2 serving staff, one on either side. It sits about 3 feet across, these long purple spines coming out from it. And for those of you who have any kind of nature proficiency, this is a sea urchin of massive proportions. Damn. It is steaming and letting off this very fragrant aroma. It smells like white wine, as well as a wide number of herbs have been worked into this. Placed down at the center, and then the 2 serving staff each carefully grab the spines on the top and lift, and the whole thing, and this waft of steam comes out from the interior, and you see this pile of perfect white meat that has been mounded up inside, clearly cooked through and looks to be very flaky and light. They put it off to the side, then break off spines and begin to hand them out to each of you. And you gotta each get about 4 or 5 spines here. Larian, I love when they make this one. It's a little bit of a different experience. He grabs the spine. He grabs the spine and stabs a piece of fish, yanks it off, and stuffs it in his mouth and starts to eat. Well, don't hesitate, dig in. Wine, all around, wine. We've got a lovely white from the eastern range here, and this one got a little bit more sunlight than the usual variety, so I find it's a tad sweeter, but, well, goes well with fish.
And water.
And water, yes. You like it mixed?
Yes, it is a tradition.
All right, well, suit yourself. Oh, and do not forget, and he's about to clap, and he's like, wait, Zuga, the pastries.
All right, here they come.
You see 2 more large platters, each with a wide variety of cherry, blackberry, and raspberry tarts coming out, piled high, glazed over with this lovely kind of brown, flaky pastry dough there. And they're placed down next to each of the fish platters.
This is a hell of a spread. My God.
Every time, it's impressive.
Well, honestly, we don't get guests in that often, to be honest, and if I have a good excuse, then we like to go all out.
Really? Well, that's too bad.
Well, you know, it's you have to keep up appearances, and if you get a sufficiently intrepid group of adventurers coming through, then it's only appropriate that you give them something to eat.
Sure, well, we appreciate it, like I said. Hell, let's tuck in.
Yeah.
May every meal be itself an adventure.
Well, this one sure is, and he stabs another piece of meat and yanks it off.
Go in for it.
I'll do my usual 10 minutes, just sort of look like I'm fiddling around over, with my silverware and stuff like that, and occasionally my eyes are just like, and I'll do detect poison and disease.
You detect a hint of poison in the spines. However, this looks to be not intentionally put there, and it is deep, deep within the actual interior of the spine itself, and is not coming out towards the outside of it.
Break it in half and slurp it. Poison.
Oh yeah, pull the marrow out.
Not gonna eat that. Gonna eat everything else. Not gonna eat that.
Well, yes, you wouldn't eat the spines. Those are for fun.
Cyrus, with one in his mouth, releases it before it crunches. You're not supposed to eat.
That part's gonna give you a bad time.
All right.
I will tear a couple of spines right off the cluster.
Okay.
Oh, here he goes.
Are you eating them or?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
He's
Not a
going for
Goron.
little
Okay, go ahead and add
Although I am close.
He's gonna put mushrooms on
four giant urchin spines to your inventory.
And like surreptitiously, like,
What are these spider urchins ever do? All right, slip them into your garter there.
Is there opportunity?
Use them to roast mushrooms.
Is there opportunity for shifting seats as the meal continues?
Are you guys playing musical chairs?
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, if it's possible to sit a little closer to Laura, Miss Muffin, I would not. I would take such an opportunity.
So you
In front of the sister.
make a
I don't give a shit.
make a deception check if you're trying to be subtle with it.
Okay.
You have eager splendors.
That's charisma, isn't it?
It is, so that's a good thing for me.
Advantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Yee.
792.
14? Yeah, you know, it's, you take your time with it, and, well, okay, so Laura notices.
Sure, of course she does.
Larian, totally oblivious, just kind of like going on about his most recent escapade out into the Mistlands and how he slew at least three, you know, grounded wyverns on his own.
Three, you say?
Yes. Oh, yes, terrible things. They stab you once, it feels like, oh. But, you know, you just give a good flex and it goes right away. So,
There goes.
Yeah.
so you make your way around, and as you sit down, Laura is, you pick your food up and start to kind of wander around the Great Hall, just sort of looking at paintings and artwork and stuff, obviously having no intentions of moving around, but then you just happen to find your way back and sit down next to Laura.
Oh, do you mind? Is this our?
Smoothly done.
I have other talents. Hey, listen. So, do you ever sing at these things?
Sometimes. Well, I sang earlier today. I'm having some dinner now, but I'm probably going to get up and regale you all with another Rosewell epic soon here.
I'd love to hear you sing. I bet you have a lovely voice.
I'm passable, I'm sure.
Tell you what, let's do a trade. You sing a song. I'll play a little music for you.
All right. Well, all right. Yes. And she puts down her food and she gets up and walks away back towards the head of the hall there. Larian, ooh, excellent. And he kind of settles in and turns his seat to watch. This is a story of the Rosewells, how they first came to Quain, how they first gained enough influence with the sovereign to be given this beautiful province to oversee. And so, without further ado, and she sort of like takes a and sinks in and starts to sing. It's a sort of haunting melody, actually. It's not as lively as you'd expect from what the Rosewells have done so far. It's this almost sad song about about the Mistlands before there was much civilization here, before Quain was founded. And it was a song about sort of the movement of spirits through this place, the movement of fey creatures that have kind of constantly moved within the mists and the fog, sort of dipping in and out as of almost dreams. And it was a place that had peoples, so the peoples themselves, it was mostly populated by halflings at the time. And they were constantly under threat from the creatures of the Mistland. They lived in these large kind of hillsides and mounds themselves, that they had reinforced over many years to become almost imperceptible from the outside.
Imperceivable.
Imperceivable. They were not a very advanced civilization, though they did have some old magics to them. However, when the Rosewells first came to this place and made war upon the Selkies and drove them out, this was one of the defining aspects of the Rosewell family. They carved out a place within the Mistlands where the Fey creatures and dark influences could no longer reach, and eventually managed to bring enough peace that the halfling population here could reemerge and begin to build in earnest and develop their own societies and hamlets and farms around homesteads. So they brought a degree of security and stability to the area that it had not known up until now with the darkness that constantly plagued it.
As she sings, I'll sort of constantly use thaumaturgy to create sort of like almost ambient background music, like, sort of a cello in there, laying in the low tones. And whenever the song seems to pause or slow down, some like higher strings working their way in there to sort of like match the tone as best I can.
Okay, roll a performance check.
Good at that too. Actually, better than deception. Hey, we like that. 23.
All right, so this fills the space, echoing between the halls and reverberating off of the large wooden columns until eventually you all are sort of spirited away by this haunting melody before finally it comes to a tremulous conclusion before the silence descends across the room. You can see Larian. It's fine. Where's the meat? Yeah, excellent as always, Lord.
Hey, man. Go ahead. Ain't nothing wrong with crying.
Right, it's just every time, it's just...
Oh no, I'm liking him.
It's fine. Just warn me before you sing that one, Laura. Of course. Next time. You're quite good. He motions towards you there.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Well, anyway. I have a couple of friends with the halflings since then. And, excellent folk. Glad that they've got a little bit of a better situation for themselves now. Anyway, we are going to continue with our meal. How do we all feel about that?
Quite sure. I was going to play a little thing if it's not unwelcome.
As long as I'm not going to cry again. Sure, go for it.
It's much livelier, much less inclined to invoke the sadder emotions. But also, I know it's not to everybody's taste. You familiar with pipes? Bag pipes.
Oh, those kind of pipes.
Yeah.
Right, yes. Well, yes, but I can't say they usually make their way into my hall.
You mind?
Sure, why not?
All right, let's do this.
I will pull out my bagpipes and I will start to play. And I will thaumaturgy a background band joining in.
Yes.
Okay. Nobody in Saris, do you have anything?
Something like this.
I do pull out my little frame drum from my pack and just start.
Hell yeah!
Okay. Yeah.
Bow drum?
What's that?
A bow drum?
Just a little frame drum. Just a little.
Yeah, like Celtic.
Yeah.
Bow drum.
They're so cool. It's like shaman drums, basically.
Yep.
Dang it, I don't have any proficiencies in instruments.
Does Keto?
No.
His proficiency in being adorable.
Nobody's just over there at the other end of the table.
That works.
It's thunderous, so...
The sea urchin spines, just like.
like off of the plates. Excellent.
Oh no.
Everyone go ahead and roll a performance check.
Hey! Do you want to play the music?
Yeah.
Wait, you actually have
I got
this?
it.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Take your pick. Any one of them would work pretty well.
Hold on. See if I can find it again. This is things got kind of mixed around with the. Give me 2 seconds
No
here.
problem.
I'm pretty sure it was in.
Lemonade.
17.
Chill out.
I know, right? I was excited for whatever was coming.
Cool down on a hot day with a cold war.
I thought you had a limerick. I was all ready for it.
No.
No limerick on this one.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. I've got this somewhere. I was planning for more of a combat scenario, but this is good. This is good.
I don't know how to bust out the bagpipes in combat.
Well, more like
We'll
in
find
the,
a way with
great panache.
in the bar brawls. Okay, where are you?
I feel like if there's a bar brawl, Hellry is in the middle of it.
There.
If you can find the file on your computer, you can just play it.
Or on YouTube.
It should go. We'll just go straight to it, you think? Okay, here we go.
Although the volume might be a little high.
I'm doing it.
Also true. Yeah, you'll be
Okay.
wanting to check that out.
Here we go.
There we go.
There we
Yep.
go.
All right. We get the spines going in the background.
Just a 10 on that roll.
You can see Larian. Oh yeah, this'll do. Excellent. He kind of takes his hammer out and starts.
Hell yeah. I mean, I can't say that because
Laura pulls out a small guitar. She starts to. All right.
Leafstar's got a what?
Oh, I got a 17.
I got a 23, so.
Magnificent. Incidentally, this music is Enter the Haggis, everybody.
Yep.
Make sure you go check their stuff out. They're on Spotify, right?
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
Spotify, they're on YouTube, they're everywhere. They've been a favorite band of mine for a really long time. And I emailed them and I was like, I know you're gonna say no, but can we use your music in our stream? And they were like, yes, you can. And I just died. And that was 2 months ago, and now we finally get to use it.
So this is Enter the Haggis.
What's the name of the song?
To the Quick.
Do the quick.
To the Quick. Yeah. So the hall begins to just rock with this music. Surprisingly, you see Saphira beginning to.
Oh no. You have to make choices.
I don't have to make choices.
Player 3 has entered the battlefield.
Excellent.
Consider the haggis entered.
The haggis has been entered. All right.
I turn over to Larry and say, she is a master of the pipes.
So I've heard.
That's her bag.
At some point, when there's a break in the music, I just,
I know I say this a lot, but this really is the best day.
Perfect. All right. So over in the inn, you could swear you hear the distant sounds of metal. So back at the inn, what is everybody up to?
I'm working on the scroll, kind of trying to teach Desmond as much as I can. I mean, it's mostly just using the components, but to be honest with you, I don't use components very often.
I find it a lovely practice. I'm just having a blast seeing you go about it. I never thought about actually writing down on paper how to make a spell.
You know, it mostly just kind of saves me because with my spells, it takes a lot of energy sometimes to do them. It just saves a little bit later on for myself, especially this is for mage armor. This will just keep me less likely to get hurt. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
man, whoever's making that noise really should just keep it down. I'm not a fan of bagpipes. But, yeah, I don't really know how to. My magic's not really. It's just something inside of me, something I feel. It's not really something I can show you how to do, essentially.
I think I understand. It's kind of like, so I can speak with merchants and I can usually put together a pretty good deal, or at least evaluate price or value of something quite well, but it's not something I can just teach very well either. You just kind of
I kind of get that.
get the feeling of it.
I've kind of done some of that in my past as well, so I know kind of that feeling. Apparently,
Oh, the song's done.
Wait, is Enter the Haggis still playing over there?
yeah.
Really?
From
That's weird.
From what my father tells me, I guess this is just something that happens every once in a while in our
I stopped it.
line.
Okay.
I guess my dad's grandfather had magical abilities as well.
Interesting.
Well, actually, I kind of wonder, I suppose I could probably try and figure my spells out a little better if I wrote scrolls as well. Is there anything that you... I think I know how to do a few things that you might be able to figure out as well. Do you suppose we could... just show me how to do the scrolls right, and I'll write some down and we can share.
Yeah, I have some components if you want to actually make the scroll. It's
Sure, let's take a look.
yeah.
Can I write a scroll from his list?
You know, I'd say at this point you're about done with the outfit, so I'll let you get started on one.
Okay, yeah, I mean, whenever it happens.
Yeah, as long as it's one that you could cast
Okay,
as an artificer, then you should be able to do that.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's kind of what I was getting at.
Do you want to go outside? Some of mine are a little destructive inside.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I think there's actually, on the way up to the graveyard, there was a pretty good spot, a nice little clearing where there's a rock, maybe we could hit it with things.
Yeah. Penny, would you like to join us on this excursion?
You know, I think I'm all right to stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna just get a drink. I have a little bit of a headache, and I think I'm a little worried about tomorrow, but I think we'll be fine. It's just, I have no idea what's happening.
Well, it just sounds like we're going to be heading towards Bara, from my understanding.
Yeah, and like Bara's fine, but the mist coil, I don't know much about it. Just kind of thinking, preparing. Yeah, actually, no, being outside would be good. I should be outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
As we're walking, is there any...
Edlin, are you also coming along for this?
No, I'm going to stay in the common room and ask for stories about the Mistlands.
Okay, sounds good.
As we're walking, I'm going to ask, is there something in particular that you're worried about?
Well, I guess I still just don't know. Maybe it's not even the mist coil that's bugging me so much. I just still think about, you know, all of those clans and tribes and the Fathom Pearl, and people are fighting over it. And how do we help those people? Because I mean, the pearl doesn't belong to anyone, and so I kind of hate the idea of interjecting. But I also understand if we don't, then a lot of those people might die anyway because others will want to interject. So and this is going to happen every 50 years, and it's going to happen over and over and over again because people are just terrible, and it kind of bums me out. I'm sorry, I'm being a downer. I'm just getting in my head and thinking about all the stuff in the future, and I mean, how do we help them for longer than just this one time?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody totally understands what a Fathom Pearl can do. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some theories, but maybe there's some other things most people aren't even quite familiar with. I'd have a better idea, I think, once I actually got to see it and feel it. It's kind of how I do most of my stuff.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not racing into anything, and I'm not planning on killing innocent beings. I have to agree with what you said, though. I feel like we can do this a lot more humanely than these knuckleheads.
Yeah.
I think without understanding the pearl a little better, it'll be really hard to determine whose hands it would be best in. So I think just sticking with the current plan of going and fetching the damn thing would be the best way to go, and then we can go from there. See what really feels right. If we need money, then maybe we can sell it. If we decide that whatever it's worth is more money than anybody has, then maybe we'll figure out something else.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we don't have to sell it. That would be my first choice.
I know we were talking about it, so.
I know. And I'm not really one to give it to either side of this discussion or this disagreement, but if we don't have to do certain things, I don't want to. Then I'm happy not to do those things.
I think another thing that would be important to figure out is, kind of seems like Vesic and Ebonlock will find any excuse to fight each other sometimes. So maybe whether or not they get a pearl is irrelevant. So that's something to consider.
That is something true. Well, we can't solve that problem right now,
No.
but at least maybe we can help protect ourselves in the meantime.
Yeah. I think our current plan of just fetching the thing is the best course of action, and then, if you can't trust any cities, we can at least trust each other with it.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about something more exciting and fun?
Right, like this rock we're about to blow up with fire.
Before you do that, I have to go real quickly, like, look under the rock and be like, with a ritual cast of speak with animals and tell all of the animals underneath it, like, hey, be careful, you might want to evacuate. There's going to be some little earthquakes going on, so scatter.
A lot of fire too.
A lot of fire. Scatter, please. Sorry.
You hear a chorus of
Don't like. As
all of these worms and bugs start to scurry out in all directions.
That could be creepy as fuck in the right circumstance.
Fear me.
I know this one, and I kind of focus on my ring and I send out magic missiles, and 3 shadow darts fly out of my ring and they just strike at the boulder.
Neat.
It's a little bit of a baser idea.
Let me see if I can do that. I'll throw out.
You'll cast it.
I think the only thing that's close is Sickening Ray.
This poor rock did not see what's about to happen.
These bolts of darkness just streak out and it's like a granite material, and it just these puffs of white material just off of the exterior of it. It doesn't crack or anything, but definitely leaves small craters in the surface.
Yeah, I do not have magic missile available as a artificer, so yeah. Then I'll say, yeah, this is about the closest thing I can do to that, but it doesn't seem as reliable, maybe, and I'll throw out Ray of Sickness.
So
I'm gonna roll the hit to the.
It's standing still. I'm gonna say you're good enough at shooting. You can hit a rock sitting there and target it. This greenish yellow bolt of energy just pours out from you and slams into the surface. Where it hits, you see the rock itself. It's not exactly decomposing or anything, but as it strikes in, it almost seems to kind of crumble. Cracks start to appear, and it almost looks like the spot where it's hitting is dehydrating somehow, like a desert. It's poison damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was necrotic damage.
No,
on
it's
that.
poison on that one.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Ray of Enfeeblement. Okay,
Yeah.
Whoops. Poison damage wouldn't do anything to a rock. It's like it hits and it's this kind of oily sheen that appears on it and starts to kind of drip down its surface.
Well, it looks quite effective. Maybe not so much against the rock, but I can't do that one. That's rather cool.
Yeah, that stuff really stings.
I imagine so. Here, this is a little bit more technical, and you see the 3 motes of fire just roll up my arm, and as I cast out Scorching Ray, 3 of the tracer around just hit the rock.
Is that a 2nd level spell?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I don't know if that's on my list. I don't think it
I don't
is.
have many offensive 1st level spells.
I don't know, because I don't have 2nd level spells.
Oh, shit. Well, aren't I the douche?
This might be a little out of your range.
That looks really cool, Case.
Maybe I can put that on a scroll for you, and then you can do it if you need to.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds great.
I don't know if I have the right components for that one yet, but we can definitely do that. But you'll have your own magic. You'll be able to do many things. It takes a lot of. I don't know how to explain it. It's internal. It's a feeling. It's an emotion inside of me. I channel it and I focus it, and I can do things.
I understand that more than most things, actually. I think that internally there's a lot more going on than we're totally aware of. And also, just like with us, I think any normal thing has some internal magic, even if it's fairly mundane. Take the crossbow that I have, actually. So I fiddled around with it for just a little bit of time, and look, I've made it I've pulled out some of the magical energy that was already in the thing. And now it does this.
This one does lob a good crater out of the rock.
So I think, I think that maybe the way you channel the magic is actually a little more pure than you might think.
Well, I think your abilities are more fascinating than mine, for sure. That's amazing.
Well, I wouldn't mind showing you how to do that if I knew how to do it. I just kind of do it. But I think that's exactly what you were saying, right?
Well,
same with your stuff. So.
We'll go back and we'll work on some spell scrolls.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's take a look at that one now that you hit.
There's something I really want to try first. I haven't done this yet, and I kind of. You might want to stand back a little bit.
All right.
I focus on my ring, and it just starts to glow, and you see a little like shadow energy pour from it. As I reach down, I slam it onto the ground, and flame just erupts out as 6 floating small meteoric balls of fire float and spin around me. And then I send one after another after the boulder as I cast Melf's miniature meteors.
Yeah, that demolishes the rock.
Dang.
Yeah, there's this series of explosions, this dark flame just and where it strikes, eventually you see large chunks of the boulder actually blown clear off of it until there's nothing left but kind of a smoking crater where it once was.
I haven't done that before.
Well, that was, yeah. Sorry.
That was really cool. Sorry, just
No, I thought it was cool too, actually. It was fascinating.
And then while this is happening, like when I'm seeing any of these sort of elemental things, I'm just kind of watching, but like when the light from the flames go by, my tattoo that's on my side that's normally black, it almost looks like it's flickering red. Like it's reacting to the elements around that she's seeing.
Sorry, I just wanted to try that for once.
I'm glad I got to see it, actually. Now that I know how it works, I can probably, or at least what it looks like, I could probably expect it sometime, maybe.
Yeah, if you see a ball of fire coming from me, duck.
I think that'd be good first course.
Yeah.
Not sure what the second move would be.
I mean, if a ball of fire is coming at you, you should probably figure out why you upset Kaz.
That's a very good point.
That might be a good second course. First, get out of the way, and then like resolve your issues.
Okay.
I wouldn't be too worried about that.
All right. So coming back around to the inn here, Edlin, you're looking for some stories about the.
I'm just buying people drinks and listening to the stories and talking about.
Okay, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
No, that's not bad. 17.
17. Yeah, with that, you're able to acquire a couple of stories about the Mistlands. It is a strange place. The whole area has a very...
Unsavory?
Well, not necessarily unsavory so much as dreamlike quality to it. And as with any dream, there are good ones, and there are often miraculous things that appear out of the mists and are deemed signs of good luck. So there are stories of fey creatures, celebrations that travelers stumble upon in which there seem to be a number of very lithe and mysterious people dancing around fires and drinking from bottles of strange purple liquid, and who all just fade away into the mist as they appear and are seen. And there are also stories of banshees shrieking from the night and driving people to madness and death. It is a altogether mutable place, and it is one of the reasons that adventurers are considered very valuable in Quain, because they are sort of a roving, civilizing force that helps to bring down some of the more dangerous threats that wander the mists, where even the guards and run-of-the-mill soldiers of Abenlock aren't really qualified to handle it. You also are aware that there are bandits out in the mists, though these are not as common as they might be in the Dormer Range, for instance. They are still there and have taken the opportunity to attack especially caravans from Quain, carrying valuable goods from the ocean. And they use the cover of the mist to make sudden ambushes and assaults upon the Savoyans in question.
Has anyone ever talked to the dancers or the celebrants in the mist?
You are asking around, and as you get into dinner time, there are a lot of people, and you see one older guy with a horn that seems to kind of curl around that he's drinking out of.
Yeah, I talked to him once. Boy, they had some serious stories to tell. You know, I was just walking out through the woods there. Me and my donkey. His name's Freddy, by the way. We was walking out through the mist there, and we saw the strangest fire out there. It was all green, and it had some blue going on there. We walked out there, and we said, hey there, what you doing out here? You know, this is no place for partying around, you know. And they looked over at me, and I tell you what, their eyes, they didn't have no pupils. They just looked right at me, and they said, "Aw, shit." I don't actually remember what they said. Everything went kind of fuzzy after that. But they said something. And I'm pretty sure what they said was, "You're the best looking sumbitch this side of the mist coil here." So, well, that's what I heard anyway.
I'm going to say come here in Sylvan and say, is that what they said?
You got something on your mouth there, my friend. It's fine.
I will say come here in Sylvan instead of in common.
You say something?
I will try speaking Sylvan.
His eyes just glaze over.
Yeah, a question for me?
Oh no, that's all right. I've changed my mind. Thank you very much, man. I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, you bet you can buy me a drink. Oh boy, right in here, please.
I will motion the bartender to fill him up.
Okay. There's a pitcher comes around and fills it up with crimson liquid. He throws it.
Thank you very much. You had any other questions for me, sir?
No, thank you. You've been most helpful.
Oh, I usually am.
I'm going to go to my room. I am quite satisfied with everything I have learned.
Okay. All right. You head off to your room and settle in for the evening.
And I'm going to write in my little book.
Okay. Sounds good. You flip to the last page that you had written in, and there is a line of kind of scrawling around the bottom of the page. It doesn't form any particular letters and seems to be just sort of random movements of the pen in no particular arrangement. Sort of this scribbling of bright emerald ink.
Look on the next page, is there anything?
Next page is blank.
And back through the other pages, anything?
Other pages are all as you left them. This one page at the end, though, has a little bit of kind of scribbling happening.
All right, well, I will write down our latest adventures and then say, I don't think you're communicating as clearly as you think you are, as a postscript.
Okay, sounds good. Alrighty. Back at the Rosewell Manor, the cacophony of bagpipes and music has kind of died down. Saphira actually is politely clapping at this. Larian's up out of his chair, just shouting, "Yes, fantastic! I need to hire you on full time. What's your hourly rate?"
You couldn't afford me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't want to make a job out of it. Although, it's funny. You're the second person to say that to me in as many days. I was encouraged by somebody else to continue pursuing musical and lyrical pursuits, and I really don't think it's a career that I would ever want to pursue. But I do have fun with it, and at the behest of that person, I have come up with a small piece, if you would be interested in hearing it.
Oh, is that right?
It's a small poem to commemorate our battles down at the docks.
Yeah, by all means.
All right.
Good one, Garrett. This is
what I was waiting for. This was what I was waiting for.
Well, you remember those elders that we defeated down there?
Yes, the octopi, yes.
Well, I really have to come up with titles for these. But here it is. 2 octopi came with their tentacles to squeeze all the blood from our ventricles. They wrapped us with suckers, but we killed those fuckers and ate them right down to their genitals. See, that's not quite professional quality. Genitals doesn't really work in that situation, but it's close enough that, as a hobbyist, I'm not too unproud of it.
He's laughing and slamming the table. Laura has at this point kind of stepped back and is nodding appreciatively. Well, I'd spread that one around.
Will do.
Laura, don't do that. You know the deal. Of course.
The deal?
Yes, well, if a minstrel is operating at the behest of an Urim Knight, they're expected to have a little bit more innuendo to their pieces.
Oh, I understand. Oh, well, so then you wouldn't be interested in the other one.
Well, I would be certainly interested in it, but as far as Laura spreading it around, that's a bit of a different question.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, here, you tell her about the one you've done for Gonora.
I'll recount the same one that I did last time.
No, she's speaking up at this point.
Oh.
Yes, I promised to tell it to you last night, and I unfortunately didn't have my notes on me, so...
Yeah.
There was a young paladin fresh to his oath, to Gonora of Selnor, who admired his growth. So when the young pup needed a leg up, the lady lay back and raised both.
That shit's fucking amazing.
Excellent, excellent. So, this is more of what the Urim Knights prefer to hear from one another's minstrel. Well, they don't prefer to hear it if it's about them.
Sure.
But it's a little less direct, as they'd say.
Yeah, that's the level of innuendo that you go for.
Precisely.
Makes sense. I'll work on a little more subtlety. Maybe, I don't know how long your evening goes on, but maybe we could go compare notes.
That, of course, is to Laura.
Mm-hmm. Persuasion check one more time. Mm-hmm.
Get it, girl.
Oh boy.
Natural 20. For a total of 26.
Yes, I think that we could diddle quills a bit.
I like her a lot. Guys, I'm going to stay behind in Kuwait. Y'all have a good adventure without me.
Hey, hurry, I was thinking about sticking around talking to you for a little while.
No, I'm going to go work on a little more poetry.
Are you sure it's pretty important?
No.
We should get some rest. It is getting late.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So weirdly not tired.
Yeah, well, I'm going to, I would like to take a rain check on whatever that conversation is going to be. Laura!
I have wine in my room, and she heads on. All right.
I'm just thinking this would be a wonderful time for Larry's sister to go, "Oh, Harry, could I speak to you for a moment?"
She is there.
Said no.
She's there. She didn't say no. She said there's.
I mean, like,
That's a long game. All right. Nobody in Saris. Hillary, you're heading off there down the hall? Mm-hmm.
I will give Saphira a wink as I head off.
She is markedly not making eye contact.
No, it's a game.
She doesn't look like it isn't. It is an expression of like, oh. It's
Yeah.
more of an expression of.
Of course.
She's more like she knows exactly what's going on and isn't going to comment on it.
Yep.
All right. Nobody in Saurus. You are at the table here, Larry, and turns back to both of you. Well, I dare say we've put more of a dent in one of those urchins than I did since I was growing up. What have you given more thought to my proposal regarding the Fathom Pearls? Yes.
No!
Yeah. You wanted to go play Tiddlywinks, and you left these two. Go on.
Yeah.
Get what you sow.
I think I'm going to
Oh, man. They got this. This is fine.
when the guards show up, we're not here.
We'll do it for free.
You understand my position on that subject. We have spoken, and I believe the matter is decided.
Well, I believe we're a little bit more. I believe you mentioned you needed to discuss further, but the understanding I had.
I don't remember.
The understanding I had is that if you were to decide to go and attack the creature yourself, claim the pearl for your own, then of course that is your right. As adventurers within this land, if you decide to make war upon the beast on your own, I don't recommend that though, as well, my father, as well as the forces of Vesic, would certainly be allied against you. But if you were to unite with my father, use your strength on our behest, then return the pearl to us, then you would have riches as far as we could offer.
Seems like a pretty good deal to me. What do you think?
I suddenly remember why we had to discuss this further.
What is the opinion amongst your companions at this time?
Pretty much.
I'm not here.
Neither am I.
This is why I'm not here.
Yes.
I think we all feel pretty confident in at least going to explore the situation more closely. We're kind of unsure because, well, there's a lot of people involved, there's a lot of unknown factors, but we are at least interested enough in going down and seeing what's what. So we'll...
Sorry.
Oh yeah, we'll be heading down that way to check it out. Whether or not we actually follow up on anything, well, I think that remains to be seen.
We are not politicians, and the complexities of geopolitical influence escape us.
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, in your gathering of what's what, I trust you will do nothing to undermine Abinlock's position in the Claw Garden.
That's not really our plan, no.
All right. Well, again, if you do choose to acquire the Fathom Pearl for yourselves, then know that we will similarly exchange it for wealth as far as Quain can offer, and I'm certain that the Sovereign herself would be interested in working with you further if that was the case. It's a tempting offer. This is an opportunity for a group such as yourselves to make a true name for yourselves across all of Anor. So,
It's an offer we don't take lightly, that's for certain. I think that's why we're kind of approaching this cautiously.
all right. Well, caution certainly never made a tale, is all I'll have to say. So, consider that. But in the meantime, we have dessert coming out. So, if you'd like to settle in. Oh, shoot, I forgot.
What did I tell you about doing that?
Here she comes.
She emerges. Zuga emerges from the kitchen. There's smoke billowing out from behind her. I'm sorry, dinner is over. And he stands out of the room. And is there anything else anybody is looking to do for the end of the session here as we are winding down? Back in the inn, we have some folks, and over in Laura's room, we have some antics going on.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. And with that, that is where we're going to wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to our adventures in Cala Anor. And make sure to keep an eye on our Discord feed as well as our Facebook. We're going to be announcing what we're going to be doing for these couple weeks of closure while we're not doing our normally scheduled streams. So hopefully we'll get something coming out for you throughout that period of time. And otherwise, we'll see you, let's see, so officially over December 2nd, so the 6th, is that right? 6th or 7th? 5th.
No, sorry, 6th.
6th,
Yep.
yeah. December 6th will be our next Cala Anor game, so make sure to jump in
If
for
all
that
goes
one.
well.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not jinx it, I guess.
Yeah.
So, look for updates on our Discord and on our Facebook feed, long story short. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and otherwise, stay safe out there, everybody. Wear your masks. Don't overbuy all the toilet paper, please. It's a common resource. We all need it. So, otherwise, be safe and stay healthy. And we'll
Thank you very much to Enter the Haggis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amazing music.
You guys totally rock.
Absolutely. You brought down the roof.
Should we give a quick shout out to Z Bashu for rating us one time?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Z Bashu, thank you so much.
that was
And
last week?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
thank you so much for coming out and giving our
2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
something like that.
There we go.
Yeah, these weeks go by so fast.
I heard about the raid, but I don't know who this guy is.
Oh, the animated spellbook on YouTube?
Yeah, he's really cool.
He's got a really good channel.
Yeah,
You should definitely
fantastic.
check it out.
Okay.
He does some great artwork and some animations.
Yeah, so this goes out to you, Z Bashu. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And once again, y'all have a great rest of your week and happy, quiet Thanksgiving this year.